Hello, everyone. Hi, welcome to our. That's weird. Episode 0, Session 0 of Mask. We are about to create our characters and I think delve more into the setting of this. I think it's made by Magpie Games?
It is.
By Magpie. So it's a teen superhero game that made me think. The first thing I thought was Teen Titans. Um,
Yes.
So yeah, that's gonna be a time. I am Simon at Wandering DM. I have no idea yet what my character name is going to be, so I'll update the overlay as I get around to do that. That said, I just want to thank our sponsors real quick. Gen Press, makers of D&D 5e supplements like Dark Matter, D&D in Space, and the Taverns and Tankards, the Book of Mimic, and a bunch of classes and spells and monsters. You can check them out at store.mageandpress.com. If you use code WanderingDM, you get 15% off everything that you purchase. Our second sponsor tonight is Found Familiar, the purveyors of fine coffee. You can check them out at foundfamiliar.com. I will get that right at some point. Uh, and you can use code WanderingDM to get 10% off anything you purchase. Furthermore, if you buy for $50 or more of coffee, you get free shipping if you live in the United States. Lastly, our last sponsor is Dice Envy. You can check them out below. For this game, we're actually going to roll physical dice, so if you want to roll with us, I guess, you can check out Dice Envy below and purchase one of their shiny math click-clacks. That said, let's go around the table, introduce our cast and crew for this game before I leave the mic to Lily, our GM, and kick off this session 0. So we'll go
I'll
around.
introduce.
Oh,
Oh,
go ahead. Introduce yourself.
okay. Sorry, I thought you were setting me up to introduce myself, so I just jumped in. But hi, my name's Lily. I am just a little nerd on Instagram and Twitter. I do all kinds of streams. You can find me. Just follow my Twitter page, and all of the things will be there. I'm also executive producer of a stream called Roll for Damage, who is hosting this right now. So if you like channels with femmes and friends, that's what we do. And I'm gonna throw it over to God. Oh my God, Daedra.
Hey y'all, you know me. I'm at Digital on Twitter or Proxagorth as me for you as you see me hanging out in the Twitch chat. And I can't wait to do this because I don't get to play a lot of Powered by the Apocalypse games, and I haven't played this one, but I am all about this and it'll be fun. And yes, I am fully on my shit and embracing that brand real hard, y'all. Real hard. So we'll see what happens. I get to play. We'll see how this goes. All right. And then I'm going to pass it to then Cleric. Your turn.
Sure, catch me off by surprise. Hi, I'm Kat. I'm Clark of Cord. That's where you find me on the Twitters and playing games on the internet with my friends. I am very excited about this. I've just discovered masks. As a matter of fact, I'm playing it on Wednesday nights now as well. And after that session 0, I am very, very excited for this session 0 because I had so many character ideas and now I get to play them. And this is going to be good. And that's totally not a clue. Not at all. Not a clue at all. Just saying.
Is that an.
And off to Pope.
Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World Build on the Twitter, Pope World Build on the Twitch. I lurk in all your streams. I am so hyped. This is me like traveling back through time, going back to being on my bedroom floor, flipping through comic books and just embracing those stories. And I get to be on my costuming bullshit. I get to wear a cloak. I am so damn happy. Happy to be here with these wonderful people. Happy to be here with all of you. Let's get into this.
So excited. All right. Should I just take us away now?
Yeah, take us away. I will, in like a couple minutes, disappeared to go grab some coffee, but I can still hear all of us. So if you explain
All right,
anything,
great.
I'll still be there.
Sounds good. So, as everyone knows, we are going to be starting off this session 0 with our character creation. So, for those of you who are not familiar with Masks in the audience, it is a Powered by the Apocalypse game, and all of the characters have a playbook. So, everyone is based off of a different superhero trope, and I believe that everyone here has already decided which ones they would like to play. So, I would like to kick it off by if we look at our character playbooks, you'll see the first page where it says the name of your character trope. There is a little description of your character trope. So, why don't we start off with I'll just go in the order of the overlay. Pope, can you please read us your little character description so we can start to get to know who you will be playing?
Well, my playbook is the protege.
Mm.
You've proved yourself to an experienced hero. They think you got what it takes. They've been training you for a while, and now you have to decide, do you want to be them, or will you find your own path?
Hmm. And I believe you have already come up with your hero name and character name.
Yes, I will be playing a young Max Milligan, also known as Harrow.
Wonderful. And how old do you think Harrow would be?
Oh, he is so in the damn weeds. Let's put him in the absolute worst time to be dealing with powers. Let's make him 17.
All right. With all that almost an adult angst.
Oh, angst, just got your driver's license, maybe part-time job, just an absolute nightmare.
Amazing. So you'll see that on the playbooks here, under the look section, there's a bunch of options for what your character would look like. We're going to go through and read the other character descriptions, but as we're doing that, you can start thinking about how Harrow will look in terms of physically and their uniform or costume or whatever that's going to be, and we'll come back around to that. So next up, I'm going to go over to Cleric. Which playbook are you using?
I am going with the transformed because
Beautiful.
there's nothing like playing somebody who's really, yeah. So you can recall a time not too long ago when you looked normal, when you didn't feel their stares, when you didn't hear their gasps, when no one thought of you as a monster. Those were the days, huh?
Must have been nice.
Mhm.
And
upon a
your
time.
names, please.
Uh, she's a chameleon, and that is the only name she goes by. Um, I imagine that it will be eventually shortened to Cammy just because chameleon goes on. It's a little too long to say, but
Oh,
for now, she is chameleon.
wonderful. And how old approximately is Chameleon?
She is on the cusp of 18, probably just within a few weeks or months of her birthday, of turning
Awesome.
18.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Chameleon. Now over to you, Daedra.
Yes, I'm going with the Doomed.
The dude.
Something about your powers dooms you. It's just a matter of time before your doom comes for you. Until then, though, you've got a nemesis who needs fighting in a world that needs saving. After all, it's better to burn out than to fade away. And now I have that
Very
song stuck
true.
in my head.
And you were going with
Alcestis.
Alcestis. Is that the superhero name or character name or both?
Both. That's just
Wonderful.
the only name she has at the moment.
Wonderful. And how old is Alcestis?
17, I think.
All right. Everyone's going to be around the same age then.
Yeah.
Seniors in high school.
Yep.
Beauty. And since Simon is getting coffee, we'll go back to Harrow. What do you look like? Oh, I think you're muted.
Pro streamer.
Oh,
y'all.
wait, no. Sorry, Simon's back. We'll do Simon first. Simon, who are you
Yes, I
playing?
was trying not to run so that I don't spill my found familiar.
What a nice mug.
Yes, it's from them. So, I am the beacon. You don't have to do this. You could probably have a safe, decent, simple life. It'd be nice, but come on. Superpowers, aliens, wizards, time travel. You're out of your depth, but who cares? This is awesome. Everybody should try it.
Amazing. And have you thought of a name? Do you want to still think on that?
I'm still gonna think on that, but I'll have both a real name and a super's name. And I was thinking of being around 17 to 19.
Cool.
But being very new at the superhero thing.
All right.
So I don't know the age. Like it'll either be I heard everyone was 17, so I might just go 17 too, unless I want to really drive home the fact that I might be older, but I don't know shit.
Well, the nice thing about this character creation process is we can start to dive into things a little bit. And then after we sort of settle the backstory and how you all fit into the story of each other, then it might, we can change your age. It's not a big
Cool.
deal. All right. So now we're going to go around again and start talking about how we look. Pope, or Harrow, I should say. How does Harrow appear?
Max, yeah, if Deidre's gonna be on her shit, I'm gonna be on mine. So short, dense body. It's the best I can say. Young white
Thick
male.
with 2 C's.
Yeah, he is. He has never been accused of being skinny. But also can, if he was only better proportioned, he could be a football player. If only. Casual clothes, simple costume, very low rent.
Sure. So simple costume, we talking spandex, we talking colors.
No, this is stuff that he grabbed from a Ren fair.
Cool. Got
Literally
it.
just got himself a cloak, a nice tabard, though occasionally the tabard doesn't even come on. It might just be, the Ghostbusters t-shirt he's got. Blue jeans, and you know what? When things start happening, all of a sudden the shoes or the sandals or what have you just comes off. So he goes around barefoot when in hero mode. When doing stuff with, school or work, that's when shoes have to be worn.
Not all heroes wear capes or shoes, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Chameleon, how do you look?
Chameleon stays covered up. If they're not wearing a hoodie with like a scarf tied around the lower half of their face, they're wearing a balaclava if it's cold. Always got the hood up, long sleeves, either a t-shirt or again the long hoodies, sweatpants, a sweatshirt. Oddly enough, they wear gloves as well, and usually shoes that'll slip on, like a pair of slip-on Uggs or something like that. But they're always fully covered up. The one thing that you'll notice about them is their eyes have a horizontal line of a pupil, like the pupil of an octopus, a cephalopod, and they're a very gold color. If you do catch a glimpse of her skin, it's a mottled gray-brown and with a very kind of odd, bumpy texture to it. But
Interesting.
she does her best to keep it covered up.
All right. So it's like Scarf, hoodie, gloves, just fully covered. Very secret.
Yes.
Secret skin. Got it. And Alcestis, how do you look?
Oh, we're gonna embrace it. It'll be fun. Alcestis is 5'4", 5'5". Very Greek looking. Dark hair, dark eyes. She gets very, very tan in the summer, and she spends a lot of time outside. She's a major tomboy, is much more comfortable in jeans and a baseball shirt, and her hair kind of just pulled back in a messy either bun or high ponytail. Usually wearing either like Chucks or just like whatever knockoff sneakers you can find at Target kind of thing.
Yeah. Amazing.
But she also has I have an idea for the costume and I don't know if I want to go there yet. Are we ready to go there? Because
I'm here for it.
I'm going to embrace all of it. Full on Wonder Woman turn. Full on Wonder Woman turn. 1970s. Oh God, Linda. Oh, name.
Linda Carter.
Thank you, Linda Carter. And I was like, it's not Lily Tomlin.
No, Linda Carter. I got you.
Thank you, Pope. Thank you. Full on Wonder Woman turn. The early costume when the skirt was, she still had the skirt and it kind of does the full flare out, but very Greek looking, and her hair becomes instantly infinitely styled. But it's all in blacks and purples.
Like it's colored and like curved.
Big, like Farrah Fawcett curls.
Yes, I love it.
She do that
just
spin, and all of a sudden she's in the costume with the hair just
perfect.
Magical girl transformation.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, quick aside. As a latchkey kid growing up in the 90s, FX had all the old 60s and 70s superhero shows. Wonder Woman was part of that block, and all it was just doing this anime girl like spin, and there was a big bright glow for everyone, this beautiful amber glow, and then all of a sudden she was still spinning, but she was in the outfit.
Yep.
Yes.
I absolutely remember that.
Yes. Here for it. All right. Thank you, Alcestis. And the Beacon.
Hi. Look wise, he's he's got the 90s protagonist haircut.
Yes.
So like the hair parted in the center, with the hair goes almost all the way to his chin.
Does he have that like boy band? Like
the boy
bangs?
band thing. Yep, exactly. And he keeps doing the motion with his hair. He is in his regular clothes. He dresses in flannel and like with a t-shirt and jeans, like something comfortable, everyday clothes. Not
full on like 90s grunge Seattle scene sort of look.
Yes, he has a poster of Kurt Cobain at home and all that.
Does he sometimes take off the flannel and tie it around his waist?
Oh, of course. You have to do that. That's my power move. And his costume, however, because he started doing that recently, he basically raided an army surplus store and got like boots, gloves, like padded pants, a what is it? Like, it's not tear resistant, but like those. It's not a Kevlar vest. Yeah, stab resistant vest.
Hmm.
And he wears this. It's sort of like a shit. What do you call
Paintball
the
mask.
cap? No, it's not a paintball mask. It's the, you know, the cap that you wear
goggles?
when you go diving.
Like an
Not
aviator
diving, but
cap?
yeah, sort of like an aviator cap. But it's like
Hmm.
stretched over his face,
Hmm.
and so it basically covers the front, but not really the back. It's
Okay.
kind of like coupled together, and he
Like a
has
like a skin
glasses
suit
underneath
hood.
it. Yeah, like a skin suit hood.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
he has difficulty breathing in it, and he normally takes it off. Um,
But he has to
what?
have it as part of his costume.
He wish he would, because I saw in like the what is it, the aspirations or something that we get.
Hmm.
One of
Your
them, the
drives.
drives. One drive was to get that, like I hooked on, was get a new costume. So he
Yes.
desperately needs an actual costume. He's just like coupled together.
Okay, cool. I love it. Um, yeah. I'm just gonna write army surplus store costume
Mm-hmm.
needs a new one. Amazing. So now for some of the fun part, now that we have dressed ourselves and our physical bodies, we must now figure out our abilities and superpowers. So you'll see in this section, there's a bunch of like basically nouns and adjectives and just they make no sense. And the reason why they make no sense is you basically can just take that and say whatever it does. As long as it makes some kind of sense with the word, it looks and does however you want it to do. So, Harrow, what are your powers?
Fun thing with protege
Oh
is
no, I don't hear you again.
the fun thing. Can you hear me now? All good?
Does everyone hear each other but me?
I can hear Pope
No.
just fine.
Oh no.
Doing this on the fly.
Yep.
Please pardon our technical difficulties and be aware that we fix these on the fly and we do actually practice this in advance and we don't, but
Happening.
technology doesn't always work.
Fuck it, we're doing it live.
Yep, precisely.
Oh my gosh.
Can you hear us
Well,
now?
Wait, can
Yeah,
you hear me?
can
We-
you hear us? We can hear you.
Oh, okay, it's back. I got it.
Okay.
Okay.
okay,
Oh,
cool.
thank you. My headphones just like died for no reason, even though they're fully charged. So wireless headphones suck. Sorry, Harrow, your powers.
One of the cool things about being a protege is you have to define your powers, your mentor's powers, how they're the same and how they're different.
Hmm.
So this is where I'm kind of opening up to the group because I kind of want help with definitions. I have broad strokes.
Hmm.
So
Yes. So these labels that you see here, savior, danger, freak, superior, mundane, in D&D terms, these would be your abilities, like your strength, charisma, dex, etc. But each label that you have is basically how you see yourself. So savior, you see yourself as a defender and protector of people. Danger, you see yourself as someone dangerous, does a lot of damage. Freak, you see yourself as outside of the norm, abnormal, like an outcast, maybe. Superior, you see yourself as superior. You have, maybe a legacy or something that you follow. And mundane is how normal you would see yourself.
well, with the protege, first we decide what we have in common, and I am on this train. So I was thinking sorcery
Mm-hmm. Cool.
is what me and my mentor share in common.
Mm-hmm.
Where we differ, he doesn't know this yet, but as music's been the thing that has been driving my deep dive into this, there's one particular song that has been playing a lot this week, and it's called Ain't No Grave. he doesn't know this yet, but he has the power of resurrection. He just keeps coming back. He
Hera.
hasn't died yet. Now, that's the one thing that's unique for me versus my mentor. My mentor, well, this is where I'm kind of really just like scratching my head, because in my mind, I'm thinking my mentor is sort of like this weird mix between like Zatanna, John Constantine, and Doc Strange.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking like Sorceress Supreme.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also thinking that he's no longer staying with his folks. He has almost sort of this mantle thing. Like he's been destined with terrible cosmic powers, itty bitty understanding. So she took him away from his folks, and they got the mental whammy. So they kind of forgotten him, but at the same time, because I love my Fae bullshit, they left Fetch in his place. So he
Okay.
has a pseudo copy of himself that's living out his mundane life,
Interesting.
while he is completely and fully on learning how to do this sorcery nonsense with his mentor. So like she's going out to save the world. Okay, I have to learn how to not shrink things, because that seems to be a problem today.
So you got Magician's Apprentice.
Yeah, I was
Full
gonna
on.
say, did you ever animate brooms to clean up for you?
Or stand in
Did
a
that
Tesla
one
cage.
time, everyone agrees never again. And
Pixar didn't happen.
also, as most everyone who knows me knows, I have this thing for props. And where my mentor, the Sorceress Supreme, she worked at her stuff and has grown her collection. This thing chose me. That's part of the reason why she's mentoring me. And that's this. This little deck here is, in a way, its own legacy, but unlike the legacy character where you have, those people living around or possibly an inheritor, this only goes once a generation. There's only one of us. And you choose when you retire, but it won't let you until you're ready.
Kind of card cap to Sakura style a little bit. Yeah. You were chosen as the guardian.
Yeah, chosen to carry the deck.
Wonderful.
With all of its powers and all of its drawbacks. And I have this idea with the legacy of this deck is that there are certain cards that are chosen for each guardian that are associated specifically with them and describes their power set. I did a reading before game, and part of the reason why the resurrection thing came up is there's this card called the Lost. Hard for it to show up, but it's this beautiful, like, undead anti-paladin. But it was in reverse, which has a very specific meaning, and that is redemption and resurrection. The other two cards that came up were the Survivor and the Paladin. Those were the three cards. And so that's who Harrow is now. And as for this Sorcerer Supreme, I have this feeling that on top of, all of the sorcery, she's the smart one. So she has like these Batman-esque like detective skills to go along with all the cosmic power. Whereas I have just the cosmic power and this unknown and yet proven unproven ability to just come back from dying.
I like it. Very nice. And you have your pseudo self. That is.
Well, she cobbled that together.
Mm-hmm.
I just helped.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it some memories. I don't have those anymore.
Hmm.
It has those. Also, I think there was her. I think she mumbled something about part of my soul, but who cares about that?
Not important. How old do you think you were when you were separated from your parents? And
15.
15. So you've been with her now for 2 years. Cool. I am loving this, by the way. It's very good. Harrow. It was a harrowing tale.
Filled me to the marrow.
Wonderful. All right. Do you know the Sorceress Supreme, her name, or do you just...
I want to give that to the group to figure out a name because I don't have one. I just have like this myriad list of legendary names to use. And I don't know if I should go complete bullshit or if somebody else has a better name.
We'll leave it open for now. And for now, she will be the Sorceress Supreme. Mystery. All right, Chameleon, your powers.
Powers are transmuting flesh
Great.
and impenetrable armor,
Ooh.
which kind of go together. The flesh is impenetrable. Don't try to draw blood on her, because there's nothing's been able to pierce it. She's tried. Trust me. The reason why she stays covered up is if she chooses, as she touches a surface or an item, she takes on that color and texture.
Cool.
So if she touches wood, it's wood with that texture. Stucco, brick, pets a dog. She's now got the fur with the coloration. The one thing it doesn't work on is human flesh.
Makes sense.
If she touches human flesh, she remains in her base state.
What is her level of control over this power?
It's one of the reasons why she is completely covered up and wears gloves. Because she can control it to a certain extent, but it costs her effort to not. Very close to full rogue, yeah. Very close to full rogue with the mystique. But as opposed to, whereas Mystique, it using references from the X-Men, whereas Mystique could touch somebody and become them complete with a set of clothes or like that, she cannot do that. She touches a surface or an object and becomes that texture and that coloration. So it's a combination of both. But yeah, covered up, full rogue.
Cool.
Gloves, everything.
Beauty.
Usually she's wearing like leather driving gloves because they give her the best dexterity.
And take this or leave this as you want, but like leather is made out of an animal skin, so maybe that's something she doesn't just transmute into when it's touching her skin.
Right. She can if it's cloth, she can wear her clothes and it doesn't affect her. But if she were to touch something other than that, the table, the wall, then she's going to transform.
Interesting. I love it. And no matter what she transforms or her flesh transmutes into, it's still impenetrable.
Correct.
Skin. Very cool. Awesome. Alcestis, your powers.
Oh, I went hardcore on this.
Yes.
Telekinesis and memory manipulation.
Cool.
And wait, that vitality absorption.
Sweet.
Full on.
Are you Strahd?
No, I don't have an unhealthy obsession with my dead brother's wife.
Good to not have.
I don't think I probably have. No, she probably does have brothers. A lot of brothers. She's the only girl. I'm going with that. She's the
All
only.
right.
She's the only daughter. It's the ultimate tomboy.
Awesome.
But yeah.
How does she absorb vitality? Is there a certain like way that she does it?
The one thing that's weird about her, particularly for her tomboy nature, is that her nails are perfect. Like all the time, they're actually perfectly manicured. She does actually go and get them done. But that's because if she, when she wants to, she can just prick someone or something. And as soon as they're bleeding, full on claws, y'all.
I love it. All I can think about is that Family Guy episode where they all get superpowers and Meg grows her nails.
Yep.
No, I'm
I
getting
look
full.
stylish.
I'm getting full visions of like Marrow from X-Men, of just going from just normal hand to all of a sudden there are these hideous bone claws that can tear at most objects.
Well, I was actually going with the original. Oh, what's her name? Logan's granddaughter.
Oh.
No, not in the Logan movie, but
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
in comics. It's gonna bother me.
Yeah,
The Japanese girl.
I'm lost.
That's
I
not Lady
understand.
Deathstrike, is it?
No, because that's cybernetic.
Right.
No, it's the backstory is that before Logan, it is Lady Deathstrike. It is Lady Deathstrike.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, because it's the back before Logan loses his memory in the 70s. He had an affair in Japan, and then granddaughter. Sorry, I am full of useless information.
No, it's great. I mean, if you're going to be nerding out about comic book stuff, might as well do it on a stream where you're playing superheroes, right?
I appreciate this. Yeah. I think she probably read the comics and then was like, that's cool. I could use that.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Alcestis. And the Beacon.
I don't
Can
have
that just be
powers.
your name?
I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure yet. I don't know if I want to go like angsty and edgy, or if I want to go more superhero, like heroic name.
On brand.
But I have no superpowers to speak of.
You have abilities.
Yes. I actually took, if you would let me, a different version of the martial arts one, where he has learned the both kung fu and what is it called again? I got it out just so I could read it.
Jikundo.
Bojutsu.
Okay.
Ojutsu?
Yeah. Basically, he fights with a staff.
Cool. I'm here for it.
I've always been a big fan of
Ojutsu.
Gambit, so.
Cool. Yeah.
And
Awesome.
my other abilities is acrobatics.
All right. So you're like a ninja boy.
Yeah. I don't know where or how we got them just yet, but I am
fine.
thinking it is because of a childhood spent watching wuxia movies and other Eastern like martial arts movies, and sought to recreate them, and then later on, just because you know how a superhero backstory just doesn't have to make sense, was a gifted young person with like martial arts and everything, and just went on to be very, very good at what he does.
Fair.
Grew up watching those old Bruce Lee movies and begged your parents for lessons, and then you just kept at it.
Yeah, it's just I ended up not going to a shitty dojo run by a guy with like American flag printed kimono.
So instead of the whole Dick Grayson acrobatics trapeze artist, that ability was transported into a martial arts background.
Well, yeah, somebody who did martial arts and then found out that you could attract girls with parkour.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Basically.
then went hardcore parkour.
Yeah.
Gambit.
without the actual power.
Yeah. Mundane gambit.
Yeah, very mundane.
I also didn't ask, are you Caucasian? Are you
I am thinking probably half Caucasian and half Asian.
I like it.
I don't know yet if I would like him to be like Korean, Japanese, Chinese, Filipino, or Vietnamese.
I'm just trying to
I'm
picture
missing
your
some.
protagonist hair and what color it would be.
Black.
All right,
That's for sure.
black protagonist hair. Got it. Awesome. Well, you're an interesting group of people, aren't you? I believe the protege has one more section on this front page, but I think everyone else, that is the end of your front page. If I'm not
I
mistaken.
have a nemesis.
Oh, yes,
That's it.
you have a nemesis. So first we will do the protege's mentor. Let us discuss the sorceress supreme.
Yes, I could use help with this, guys.
Mm-hmm.
What does, after everything that I've described, what of the different labels does this individual embody?
Can I be honest?
Yes.
That Cleric and I were talking. The only thing that comes to mind in my mind right now is what's her name? It's gonna
Maleficent?
no, not Maleficent, but the actual actress who plays Maleficent and the evil
Angelina-
stepmother.
Angelina Jolie.
No. In the
Oh.
animated movie Sleeping Beauty is the same actress
Oh.
who plays the
Yes,
evil
yes.
stepmother, and she's also the talking head in the crystal ball in the Haunted Mansion ride.
Oh.
Hang on 2
Don't
seconds.
give us the name of the
Eleanor
actress.
Audley.
Thank
Yep.
you very much. But fun fact about that. But she is like, all I can picture is this perfectly put together woman who is like behind closed doors, the ultimate badass,
Hmm.
but like perfectly correct and pristine in public. That creeps everyone else out, but they're not sure why.
Like a Stepford Wives kind of feel,
Yeah.
like too perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been watching Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
Sorry. Mom.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, and with all these references that I'm tangentially getting, what label from the ones that we have does this individual embody?
I need to look at the actual label.
Superior.
I would say, yeah, superior.
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 Feels like
Mhm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and of all of those, what does she reject? What does she deny?
I would
Mundane.
say freak. Oh, interesting.
Or
That's kind
mundane.
of opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
freak or
mean-
mundane.
Freak or mundane. I
Mhm.
could see it be argued either way.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like,
Does she want to fit in with the world, or does she want to be an outlier
I
and
think with the
unique and
superiority
special?
complex, and I'm seeing this person hang out with the supernatural more than the mortals, I'm thinking she rejects mundane.
All right. Mentor. Cool. I'm excited to flesh out this character more also. And your nemesis, Alcestes.
this is a thing. You have a nemesis, an epic and powerful enemy representing and embodying your doom. It's going to take everything you have to take them down in the time you have left. Who is your nemesis? I have no idea.
We can come back to it if you want to go into more of our backstory stuff, and then you can have maybe like
Yeah, that
I
might help.
have an idea.
Oh, wait, there we go.
Mhm.
I'm for this.
Ideas are good.
Okay. Knowing the mythology behind all of this, do we want to go full on your bullshit balls to the wall crazy?
Yeah, but we can't go with Thanatos because that's not a nemesis. That's just a...
No, we can't go with him. But there's a certain individual that's got a three-headed dog and a really hot wife.
Yeah, but see, okay. My minor soapbox, this is me on my soapbox, classicist on a soapbox. I fully warning here. Everybody goes to death. It's a thing. the old classics and the Greeks and the Southern Italians, everybody accepts that death is going to happen. So you don't piss them off, but you're not gonna. They're not a nemesis the way Christians do.
Do your brothers have powers?
That's an intriguing thing. Or maybe not her brothers.
Unfortunately, yes.
Maybe an uncle.
Ooh, yes. Go with that.
Yes.
Me and my DC bullshit here.
Always.
I love me some Vandal Savage.
Ooh.
I love somebody who needs to continue on and preys upon the peak individuals. But it almost with Vandal seems like these people are predestined because of what he does, or maybe some of that magic stuff that he was up to way back in the day. Just come into his line of sight, and you're his latest victim. Like, he needs your bits. He needs your parts. Because you're the last of this long line of divinity that he has been preying upon throughout the ages to keep himself young, beautiful, and strong. This centuries-long parasite, paragon of an individual.
Another thing I was thinking of that I'm just going to throw in there. As soon as we started talking about death and Hades, I was like, what if Persephone was
See, that
the
makes
nemesis,
more sense.
Yeah.
That I like.
the wife? But
With the doomed, yes, because Persephone would be the opposite of that doom. She's hope,
Yeah.
she's spring.
She's hope, she's spring. She has the healthiest of all of the Greek goddess relationships with her husband.
it's
says
an
a lot.
interesting scale. Yeah.
When your scale is Persephone and Hera,
Yeah.
There's a gulf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can sit on it a little bit if you want, because I feel like we almost need to marinate a little bit before we understand
I think we need to
that.
let it sit there. I like the kind of idea of a family connection with but I also like the idea.
Maybe it'll all tie
Instead of an
together.
uncle.
Persephone could
I
be
like
your aunt.
the powerful females. We've got a powerful female mentor for the protege, a powerful female nemesis for our doomed.
No. I know who it is. The ultimate. It's Psyche.
Oh, damn it all.
Ultimately screwed.
Why did you have to? Oh, God. I love and hate you so much.
Will they be named Psyche?
That's the
That's their
villainous
supervillain
name. But here's someone who like the mental, emotional manipulation bullshit, Shadow King levels of bad.
And I'm going to throw this out there because it just makes sense in my head right now, and you can play with it however you want to do this, Lily. She's a mean girl at school.
She's Regina George.
Yes.
All right, I love it.
Nobody Alcestis has no idea about this, but that makes
That's like your secret identity.
Yeah, I mean the
You
ultimate
go to school
tomboy
together with your nemesis.
Yeah, the ultimate tomboy and the
preppy girl.
and the preppy mean girl. There's a distinction there.
I love it.
Head cheerleader.
All of the
She's head
cheerleading team.
cheerleader. Yep.
And no,
Class president.
less Regina George, Cordelia Chase.
Oh,
Again,
hell.
what's that name from?
That's from
Buffy.
Buffy.
From Buffy.
An Angel.
Yeah.
Oh, hell.
All right.
You knew I was going to be on my bullshit, Pope.
It's going to be my favorite NPC to play.
This is going to be like absolute freaking torment.
I'm doomed. What did you expect?
I love how
layers.
embodying your doom, and you have to take them down. It's going to be interesting. I like it.
I just love with the Doomed, like the more power you unlock, the more like your nemesis gets on their bullshit, and the more it all comes together.
That's when she becomes head cheerleader. It's when you rise to your power, she rises to hers. Amazing. Yay. Okay. I'm super excited already. And we're like barely even into this. And you're all great. Just saying.
Prom queen is going to be an interesting election.
I'm not running for prom queen.
It'll be
I'm
like
not
one of those things where you
necessarily
get
gonna
elected anyways.
Go.
You don't have to run. You're going to end up nominated. It's just going to happen.
All right. So page 2, we are now going on to our labels. So as I mentioned before, the labels are basically your abilities and attributes. You each start where that white square is on the page. That's where you all start. But throughout the course of the game, your labels actually shift as your sense of self shifts, as how others perceive you shifts. Classic teenager high school stuff. So you're going to just add a +1 to one of those, and then the rest are your abilities to start off with.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. So when you say add a +1, you add a +1 to
The white box.
a white box.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, for example, I'm actually looking at yours right now. So
Okay, good.
Your white boxes are +1 in danger, +1 freak, +1 savior, -1 superior, and a 0 on mundane.
Yeah.
So let's say you wanted to see yourself as more mundane, you would add a +1 to mundane, so you would be a +1.
Okay.
Instead
All
of a
right.
0.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Yay, learning new games. And then just below that, the conditions, these are basically your hit points of the game. So there's no 50 hit points or anything like that. It's just that you will take conditions upon yourself when you get hurt or when you miss a roll and this kind of thing. And then it'll just give you a minus to other things that you're trying to do later on. And then we're going to go into backstory, which is my favorite part about this game. So let me know whenever y'all are ready for that. Oh, and you need a name, Beacon.
I know. I'm still looking up. I sent a couple things in Zoom that I found, for the character.
The baton is amazing.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the pocket staff. I want to buy one.
Yeah,
I want to get one.
That is beautiful.
I will hurt myself with it.
I kind of like the idea. If you're about this, what is the predominant culture in your household? What's the dominating culture at home?
For me?
Yeah. For this character, considering that you're half Asian, half Caucasian, what is the things that take hold in your household? Which one is mom, which one's dad?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm a protagonist. My parents are dead. I live with my grandmother.
Okay, what culture?
She's Asian, yeah.
Okay, you live with grandma. All right.
Does she have the money cat?
Oh, of course.
The money cat and the incense Buddha.
And how many different types of various foods stuffs does she put upon you when you have friends over?
I don't think I have friends.
And there we begin Simon's on brand.
Okay. So, I'm
Sorry.
thinking this again. You're doing this very East meets West character with a far more Eastern home life. So I'm thinking that the last name is Eastern and the first name is Western.
Okay.
All I can think of is Kevin Beacon, which is not on that train of thought.
And now I want to go watch Footloose. Thanks.
Let's go do some 6 degrees of separation.
All right, I'm still going to think about the name. Don't worry. I'll have
All right.
it before the end of tonight.
Yeah, no worries. So if everyone's ready, we can move along to backstories.
Damn. Yep.
And so, how we're going to do backstories is everyone has a set of questions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 questions. The last question is all the same question between all of you, but we will start with the first 4. And these are just to develop your own personal backstory. And then we get into like a team backstory. So, for the backstory things, of course, we're all, if you want, you can ask the others for suggestions, but it'll always ultimately be your choice. So, again, we will start with Harrow. How did you first meet your mentor?
So there was a car accident,
Hmm.
and like it was me. I was in my car, just like 6 months removed from getting my learners, like afterwards, and I'm in this accident. May or may not have been my fault.
Hmm.
Um, but I managed to walk away unscathed. The other person did not.
Like it was a big accident, you mean?
Like it was a thing.
Hmm.
Um, but in that accident, all of a sudden, the deck found me,
Hmm.
and um,
Excuse-
in at the police station, taken back, or no, the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
taken back to the hospital because something that serious, you should be torn to hell up.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to take you back to the hospital, especially if you're underage. That's where I met her.
Hmm.
Shortly after the deck found me.
How do you feel about? I see the deck as kind of like a berserk, egg of the king. It just finds you in fate, sort of thing. How do you feel about perhaps the deck was being held or guarded by the other person who was killed or hurt in the accident?
I think that's precisely what it was, is
Hmm.
that it was in between owners
Mm-hmm.
and someone was guarding it until it found its next person. And like the Hope Diamond, this thing is a curse. And you weren't meant to hold on to it, though we thank you for delivering it.
Hmm.
And they died in its delivery.
Hmm. Death.
Did you know them?
No,
Hmm.
Were you driving? Was this a
we were
separate car?
both driving, and I am perfectly certain it was like they got hit from behind out in front of me,
Hmm.
T-boned them.
Hmm.
Okay.
Like the driver behind them, I'm picturing it's this like dump
It was
truck.
literally the
Just
push.
Mm-hmm.
literally, yeah. The dump truck pushed their car out into the middle of the lane, T-boned them,
Hmm.
and all of a sudden, when I'm extracted from the car airbag goes off. I've got a couple of burns, but when they poke the airbag and they drag me out, all of a sudden, this deck is in my hand.
Hmm. Spooky. And then when the Sorceress Supreme found you in the hospital, do you think it was because she knew the deck had a new owner and so she sought you out, or she just happened to be there?
I'm thinking that she knew the previous owner didn't
Hmm.
like them. They
Hmm.
died. She's been hunting for this deck because she
Hmm.
wanted to hold on to it.
Hmm.
Finally zeroed in on the person who was currently guarding it, and then followed their corpse and then found me.
So she wasn't at the scene of the accident?
No.
All right. All right. What were the legal ramifications of you being in this accident where somebody died?
That was part of the reason that very night I disappeared and my fetch got put in play.
Oh, I wonder what the legal ramifications against your fetch was. Fetch probably doesn't drive.
No, but I not anymore, but there were cameras there, so they did see that wasn't entirely the kid's fault.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, he's not driving. Also, my fetch is in therapy.
Oh my gosh. I'm just like trying to empathize with someone who's like a pseudo clone being in therapy and being like, my memories are so like
Foggy.
Limited.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that could make sense though, because like they went through a traumatic event, and so during therapy,
Playing it
they
off
always-
as pseudo amnesia, and
Mm.
yeah, it's a time.
So interesting.
But at least you're getting straight A's now.
Oh yeah, my test scores went through the roof afterwards.
Awesome. Very cool. Chameleon, what is your
Yes.
first backstory question?
First backstory question is, who were you before?
Hmm.
Chameleon was a nobody. She was an average kid with exceptional parents.
Why were your parents exceptional?
Very smart. Very, very smart. Multiple degrees, multiple doctorates. Very smart people. And their daughter was average.
Hmm. Were they
Didn't get-
superheroes?
No, they were not. And that's what irritated them,
Hmm.
especially her mother. When you're exceptional, when you're an exceptional human being, but you're not a superhero in a world of superheroes,
Hmm.
you don't stand out. And that irked her. And it irked her even more to have an average child.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
So good. Amazing. And you were just an everyday normal kid.
Yep, everyday normal kid whose mother has multiple PhDs in biology. Let's go with what's the study of aquatic life?
Oceanography.
Yeah.
But aquatic animals. Marine
Marine
biology.
biology.
Thank you. My daughter, she knows more than I do. So this is a woman with degrees in biology, marine biology, all of that kind of stuff, who decided that there was no way that her kid was going to be average, and it wasn't fair that being exceptional didn't make you a superhero. So she was going to have her kid be a superhero. So she performed some experiments.
Oh.
Here, take these pills.
Hmm.
You're going to need vitamin shots once a week.
Hmm. Interesting.
And then she wakes up transformed.
How long did that go on for, the experimentation, before you were fully
Probably-
transformed?
She is thinking back, Chameleon would say several years, like right
Hmm.
before puberty started.
Hmm.
And then that was her mother's excuse for, here you take these pills, here you need these shots, you're female in puberty, you need extra vitamins, whatever, take these. That was her excuse for fitting this. And it was when she was just after she turned 16 is when she transformed.
Hmm. Awesome. That
It's
kind
also
of
when
dips.
she ran away from home.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can imagine that would make sense. Dipped into your next question a little bit, but we'll come back around because I have more questions for this afterwards. Okay. Awesome. And Alcestes.
When did you first learn of your doom? Okay. I'm going to be that girl because I am literally that girl.
Mhm.
Interesting thing, her family is Greek, but they're not Orthodox.
Okay.
They're Catholic. It caused drama. There are many, many aunts and grandparents who don't talk to each other because of this drama. But it's more of a cover because all of the kids, and I think like Alcestis is the youngest and she has 4 older brothers. Because I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, 4 brothers and then her.
All superpower brothers also.
Yeah. Of varying degrees and abilities. But it's like they're going to be Catholic to cover the fact that they never stopped being pagan, which is a lot easier to cover if you're Catholic than if you're Greek Orthodox, or nominally. So at her confirmation, one of her brothers who is older, let's say her oldest brother, who was drinking a little bit too heavily than he should have been at the time. So when she was in 8th grade, and he was probably just after his senior year, started talking about this thing, and it caused a massive fight.
Oh, all right. Did you say that was the oldest brother, or
Yeah.
just an older? The oldest.
That's the oldest.
Is 17.
Yeah. So when
was 17 at the time.
well, no, he was 18 at the time because it was after his
18 at the
graduation.
time.
Okay. Okay.
His confirmation would have been in May. His high school graduation, roughly about the same time.
All right. Juicy.
I like the idea of the oldest brother got it was in the opinion of all the other brothers the lamest power. And that he like just has oracular dreams. It's part of the reason he drinks.
And one of her brothers fully embraced the fact that they named him Hercules, and he is the total ultimate jock boy.
That's not the oldest, but one of them.
That has to be the youngest brother.
That is it is her youngest brother, and they're Irish twins. So they're like in the same year in school, and they compete, even though she's younger by 13 months. But they're in the same grade at school, and so they're very competitive.
All right. And he is super strong. Interesting.
And a frat boy problem. It's okay.
And a frat boy.
I'm gonna come up with a bunch of names for brothers in a hot second. Give me a minute.
Awesome. What is your doom? Did we talk about that?
No, we didn't figure that out yet.
We will.
Yes.
Yeah, at some point. It'll be
At some
something to
point.
do with telekinesis, memory manipulation, and vitality absorption.
Yep.
And your nemesis. It'll all tie together. No big deal. The beacon.
Who has a name now?
Oh, great. What is your name?
Adam Cho.
Great. Do you have a superhero name?
Right now I have a tentative name, but I'm trying to come up with something better, so I'll
I feel like this is very in character for your character with their like army surplus costume and keeps throwing around names that they want to have but can't figure it out.
Yeah, trying costumes in front of the mirror, hiding it from grandma.
So cute.
What?
Oh God, you're Peter Parker.
What sort of Asian culture are you looking at? Filipino,
He's half Chinese.
Chinese.
Yeah.
You've got a gold mine.
Yeah, I've been looking at a list of Chinese superheroes for inspiration.
Nice.
Not only the superheroes, the mythologies, and the ancient heroes. You have a gold mine.
But I would like not to be known as Lu Bu. So...
No, you're not Lu Bu. You're Lu Bu has powers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm slowly. I'm slowly delving into that part, looking into names and everything. But I also had two questions for you, Lily.
Yes.
The first one, I'm sorry about that. The first one is about our labels. Can you just remind me, danger? Is it how dangerous I see myself, or how dangerous I am?
How dangerous you see yourself.
Okay.
All of the labels are how you view yourself.
Okay. Then I view myself as more dangerous than I actually am.
Of course you do. You're so sweet.
And my second question was, how common are superheroes in that world?
Oh, sorry. I should have mentioned this beginning. Superheroes are very common.
Okay. So we're talking like DC, Marvel. They're all over the place. Okay.
Yeah. My Hero Academia is
Okay.
how I go, because I'm an anime and manga nerd, not a comic book nerd.
Good enough. I don't know My Hero Academia, but I figure it's the same, in the same vein.
This feels
everywhere.
very DC. Like we have folks that have names, especially looking at a playbook that, while it's not in play here, it's probably in play in the world. The Legacy.
Yeah, the child of like a renowned superhero,
or just an inheritor of a set of powers that they just keep going on, like Shazam like
Mhm.
Captain Marvel and like Flash, because the Speed Force needs somebody,
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
Speedy and Green Arrow. Like you have those generational mantles.
And somewhere there's a New York equivalent that's actually set in New Jersey
Mhm.
with some very complicated family dynamics going on
Mhm.
for inheritance.
Yeah, the Mask's whole universe is like every single trope is just based off of so many pre-existing things. I really love how they broke them down into these like genres of superhero, for lack of a
Mhm.
better word.
Well, they
Yeah.
use the DC and slash Marvel scale of golden, silver,
Yeah,
bronze,
bronze.
and
Right.
modern age villains.
Mhm.
Plus, you have
And
legacy superheroes,
Mhm.
which are they keep the same name, keep going.
Mhm.
well, hell, in Marvel, we see this with Wolverine and
Right.
him
Mhm.
Yeah.
being going from Logan to X-23.
Um. So my okay, because that'll tie in with my superhero name, because I'll
Mm.
probably well. I'll answer those questions when I get to that. My first backstory question is: how did I gain my skills? Um,
We talked about it a little bit.
yeah, so basically watching kung fu movies,
Mhm.
and I think um, just to make it um, like one step, like to get a greater incentive for me to go
Mhm.
into martial arts. As we were walking home one night, my grandma and myself, after going to the restaurant, we were mugged, and I couldn't help her. So the
Hmm.
next day, I decided to, because I tried, like I would have picked up like a stick and tried to imitate what I saw on TV to
Your
like
first staff.
my first staff, and it was shit. So the next morning, I decided to actually go like train seriously and
Hmm.
become the beacon that I'm going to be.
All right. How old were you, do you think, when that happened?
12.
All right.
And I think right now I'm going to go with 18.
All right. So you are the oldest of the group then.
But such a baby.
Yes. Amazing. All right. And back over to Harrow, your second question.
Ah, yes. When and why did I choose to train with him? Uh, I just have this sense that I didn't really get much of a choice,
No, I don't think so.
but at the same time, since heroes are ubiquitous, like I think is that entire thing where she goes and like kind of shows me what's going on and have that entire Doc Strange kaleidoscopic, oh, this is what reality is
Mm.
to a 15-year-old mind. Like, oh, okay, this is way over my head. Also, this is so damn cool. So it was didn't really get much of a choice, but I consented.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Do you think it was a long process of consent, or were you kind of like nervous at first, or you were like, yeah, let's do
Oh,
it?
well, no, scared out of my gourd.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just survived a crash where I probably should have died.
Mm.
I now all of a sudden have this weird deck that refuses to leave my presence. And now the most severe woman in the world has just revealed to me that she is the sorcerer supreme of Earth, and I have inherited this deck that gives me powers.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, that's a lot. Have you
I
also considered therapy?
my therapy is talking to the many different MacGuffins that have some sort of embodied spirit or other things that are about her place when I go and visit.
Hmm.
Also her, because she has a manservant. Um, and he sort of looks after me.
Hmm. We will figure out his name someday too. Is he super powered, do you think?
He has like low level magics, but he's really good with knives and a shotgun.
Hmm.
And she will actually burn water. He knows how to cook.
Ah, that's good. Great. And Chameleon, back to you. We kind of answered this question already of when did you change and what caused it? And that was your mother experimenting on you. She wanted a child that was exceptional. My follow-up question to that is, how did your father feel about this?
He was complicit.
Ah, ooh. And like supportive.
I think he had blinders on. He had his own, again, area of interests. He's a polymath, and wasn't really paying attention.
Mm.
Didn't really, sure, dear, whatever.
Mm. Yeah, sure. Just give her those octopus hormones. It's fine.
He had no idea. I mean, she told him that they were vitamins as well. I'm sure if he even bothered to ask.
Kind of head in the newspaper kind of dad, and
head in his graduate work for his 4th or 5th postdoc. Just
workaholic.
Yep.
All right. Sad, sad, sad. But he will find new family. It is all right.
We'll see.
Alcestis.
Yes.
Alcestis?
Alcestis. Well,
Alcestis.
technically it would be Alcestis because there is no C or soft C in Greek. It would be a K. But the English Alcestis. Actually, I'll change it that way. It's written in Greek, the anglicized Greek instead of the Alcestis. Make life easier for people. Where did you get your sanctuary?
Also, what is your sanctuary?
That is the question.
Where would you go to hide from your 4 brothers and your family?
Yeah, that's a thing. Ooh, I think I'm fully embracing this tomboy thing in high school girls and that her sanctuary is the batting cages.
All right. Like at the high school?
No, because I don't know. Do Canadian high schools actually have batting cages?
No.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, most American high schools don't either because
okay.
Unless you were a really, really rich kid, and are we going private school rich kid? Because that will change things. Okay. There's the batting cages that are down the street. They're attached to the skating rink, so they're open absurd hours. And she knows the receptionist, so she has a key to the back door. She can just go in and vent her frustrations with a 29-inch aluminum softball bat.
All right, that seems like a good place for her to go. Is it a fairly busy or less busy place?
I think it's one of those in the season. Sometimes it's busy, but it's a little out of the way and a little bit. And because I live in this kind of environment, it's in a more immigrant ethnic environment. So a lot of kids from school don't like to go there because it smells like Greek food. And there's lots of garlic, and there's just weird people who speak weird languages there.
Garlic and lamb.
Such a strange place. Non-English speaking.
Sorry. Now I want souvlaki.
Me too. I haven't had some good souvlaki in a minute. There's this amazing place in Toronto anyways, it's called Tzatziki in Toronto. If you go there,
there's a place down the street near my house. They do a Santorini Sundays, half-price bottles.
Yum yum.
You could get real mess. You could have a lot of fun there on Sunday.
Yeah.
If you're of legal drinking age.
Yes.
But yeah, I think it's I think it's one of those places that she got really into sports, and it's comforting because it's always the same, even though it's a little run down and a little older, and
And you get to hit stuff,
you get to hit stuff.
which is great.
Always.
So baseball is like your game then that you would play.
Yeah, her spring. Okay, question.
Yes.
I don't know Toronto or I don't know Canada, but I do know that in the Northeast, it's different than the Southeast. In the Northeast, softball is a spring sport and soccer is a fall sport. In Georgia, softball is a fall sport and soccer is a spring sport. So
We play both so long as there's no snow.
Yeah. I think softball tends to be in the spring. When I worked at a sports bar, the softball teams all showed up like in the spring and fall, but yeah.
Because it's just one of those things. It's like, and former high school teacher, recovering high school teacher. So it's like you had the split of kids who you had the fall sport and the spring, the girls fall sport and the girls spring sport. So you could, if the fall sport, she'd probably do soccer in the fall and softball in the spring.
All right.
But softball is her go-to.
Do your brothers play sports?
Her brother Heracles does. He is a major jockhead, and I don't know what the comparison is in Canada
Your
to
brother's Hercules.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I
One of them.
thankfully, knowing enough Canadians, he plays hockey,
Yeah.
but he is a track and field star.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
That
Yep.
shot
Possibly
put
also
problem.
football.
Yeah, he does
he-
football. He does hockey. He hockey and football are his training for track and field.
And he dabbles in speed skating.
Just to be a dick, he does.
Yep. Short track. Got
See,
the
Uh,
big
Yeah,
skating.
that short burst, he can't do the long form.
Right.
Um,
He
doesn't have
he's-
the endurance.
No. And he lifts annoyingly. The twins Polynices and Etiocles, they also play sports, but they're not dedicated to one. It's more like everybody is going to play sports because that is how you socialize and become
get out of our house.
exactly. And I haven't picked a name yet for her oldest brother. Come back to that one yet, but he's graduated in college, and I don't think. And he is the prophet who drinks to cover his problems. So I think he's just a pothead. He may have played sports at one point, but he's now a pothead.
Can he be Adonis? Just a suggestion.
No. His nickname is Dino, but his full name is Dionysus, and he's embraced the full thing.
Yes.
Yeah. How do your parents feed all of these growing teenage boys so with that calorie consumption? That's a lot of food.
Like,
I mean-
all Greeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's peasant food that's very filling. Have you seen what couscous can do to you?
True.
Yes. Also, just like
Rice pilaf.
no, what 3 pieces of baklava will do to your system.
That too.
There's lots of fish. There's lots of
It's lots of
Things.
food.
there's lots of food. It's just like
That's speaking of somebody who's had 3 teenagers at one time in the household. Feeding that many teenagers, and especially teenagers with that level of caloric requirement, that gets expensive.
Yep. Like every ethnic. I'm sorry, I'm going to embrace it. My family's
Yeah.
Sicilian. We had like all the Italians that I went to school with, all of that, lots of pasta, not a lot of meats occasionally, but there's other fish proteins that show up. Hummus. There's lots and lots of hummus at the house. There's lots of beans too.
I'm also just curious as to what her parents do for a living, because I'm just suspecting one of them's a lawyer and the other's an accountant.
Could be superheroes also.
You can be a superhero lawyer and a superhero accountant.
Oh
I
my.
don't think they're here lawyers and accountants. Come back to me on that one. I have to figure that out.
Will do. Sorry. So I have brothers' names. I have Hercules and Dionysus, and there were two other ones I think I missed.
Twins, Polynices and Eteocles. I'll write those for you.
All right.
The nice thing about Greek is it sounds the way it's spelled.
Perfect. All right. Very nice. And over to Adam.
Hi.
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 I will call you by your superhero name when you figure it out.
Yes, I have like 3 names right now that I'm
Great.
mulling over.
And trying on with your costumes in front of the mirror.
Yes. But the deeper I go, the like more thing I unearth, and I'm like, it could be good inspiration.
Well, I love your next question because we kind of already talked about it a little bit, but when did you first put on your costume? I'm going to say like in an official manner and not just trying it on in front of your mirror.
That would be a year and a half ago. When I decided to take to the street for real. What I'm thinking about my, you know how Daredevil or even Spider-Man, they protect like a certain neighborhood of New York? My character would, before he met the team, would have done the same. Be centered in an area, probably like an area of Toronto that encompasses Chinatown or Koreatown. I don't remember. My map of Toronto is a bit old.
Spadina.
Spadina?
So your 12 blocks are the most protected 12 blocks in all of Toronto.
Maybe not the most. There are other superheroes. There would be neighborhood superheroes.
I'm sorry, he invoked the devil. Devil of Hell's Kitchen. No one goes there unless they're planning on taking a beating.
You don't mess with the devil of Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, I think, wow, there's
Including
a
the
lot
devil.
of Krispy Kreme in Spadina.
Yeah, there's 2. I used to go to them all the time.
The important question is
But
glazed
how,
or unglazed and always with the hot light, right?
Yes.
how big
Glazed.
How big is Spadina?
It's a long street. So like Chinatown goes from like oh my gosh, like Bloor and Spadina down to about Dundas and Spadina.
Yeah, okay. I was around Christie Pitts Park last time I was in Toronto. And then I walked all the way down to downtown.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. I just didn't go through Chinatown, but now I have Google Map up and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I recognize these places.
Yay.
So yeah, he would essentially patrol like those 4 blocks, probably like the whole of Chinatown and then the surrounding areas. So he decided to put on the costume a year and a half ago after he saw on the news someone he recognized causing trouble. Probably like I was gonna say not vandalism. What's the act of like breaking? You break the front the like storefront of a store and you go in and you loot everything. It's
breaking
and entering.
B&E.
it's just the
breaking and
B&E?
entering.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought
Smash
there
and
was
grab.
another name for it.
Or the smash and grab.
Perhaps.
Smash
yeah.
and grab.
Yeah, it would
I
have
mean,
been.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
smash and grab.
a smash and grab. Or-
Here's a wonderful legal point that our wonderful friend Godless Lawyer will appreciate. Technically, if the door is open and you take something when the door is open, then it's just robbery. You need to break something for it to be breaking and entering.
Makes sense.
A lock, a window, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
But
if
if
the
you
door is
break
wide
it
open,
but don't enter?
then it's just vandalism.
Ah.
And if you
course.
enter and you don't break anything and you don't grab anything, are you just loitering?
Trespassing.
Trespassing.
But yeah, so basically he saw a B&E on TV or a smash and grab, whatever, but he recognized the person. And the cops were asking like, can you identify if you have like any ideas of who that person is and everything. And he decided, because he knew that he would personally deliver that person to the authorities. And he put on his costume for the first time, trying to look as intimidating as possible, grabbed his staff, went down to the guy's place, ended up not realizing that that guy was not alone. and he got the shit kicked out of him by 6 different people. But while they were busy beating him, they didn't see the patrol car that came around, and they were arrested. And I was told to go back home and never do that again.
I don't know why. I feel like this character that you have made is a very good friend of mine because like almost everything that you said is just like the embodiment of my friend Calvin, and it's just making me like so happy. But it's amazing. I love it. I'm
Cool.
here for all of it. This is exactly how Calvin would be a superhero. And the cops were just like, yeah, go home, kid.
Yeah, they were. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But and of course, in the process of being beaten up, most of his like original costume was trashed. Hence why he decided to go to an army surplus store and get something more resistant.
Can I be? Did he watch Kick-Ass in the theaters?
Oh,
thinking that.
My God, I didn't think about that.
I was just getting ready to Google the movie. Yes.
I don't think.
No, it's good. You can still use that for sure.
Yeah,
It's
no,
a
I know.
classic superhero thing.
I don't know if if Kick-Ass exists in like the Mask world, but he would have probably not seen it, because otherwise he would have probably been more careful.
Yeah, they don't really have movies about superheroes in the world where there are superheroes so much. Maybe it was a documentary about another superhero called Kick-Ass. Yeah, that's canon. We'll go with that. And it was exactly the same movie, but just it was all real. The end.
All right.
Awesome. And back to Harrow, your next question.
Yes. Who else outside of the team knows about your training? There's a list. If I may burden you with such a list. My master's manservant, Varen Patel. He of course knows. There's part of like the superhero team that she's a part of called that I have the title the Court of Wills. They all handle a bunch of mystical nonsense. And then because as part of my training I had to be introduced to them, both Fae courts. I met Mab. That was an experience.
And she let you go home.
Yes, because she wasn't going to piss off my master.
Oh, well, okay, that worked.
Yeah. And that would be an interesting meeting to be a part of.
Yeah, no. When I've done something really stupid, she threatens me to take me back to the Winter Court, and then all of a sudden I start flying right again.
Did you make any friends there? Did you make any friends there?
In the Winter Court? Oh, hell no.
No, in the courts, in the Fae.
Oh, yeah, there's this really cute satyr girl that I tried to like befriend. She's cute, but she's also, well, Fae.
What's her name?
Petal.
Also, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm just curious because given the whole paladin and that type of thing, were you given any training by the Summer Knight or the Winter Knight or a Green Man?
I've started doing combat training on the mystical side of things with someone who is just referred to as the Green Knight. He likes to do this party trick where he removes his head. It's very Arthurian. I'm not happy about that.
Does he go bowling with it?
He does all sorts of tricks, including deliberately leaving it places.
He's like a dad joke guy with his head.
Yes.
Okay, another very important question. Another very important question. Does he have an unhealthy obsession with co-eds?
No, not co-eds. He has evolved past that. He is onto this thing that he's recently learned about called MILFs.
Hmm. That is the natural progression from co-eds to MILFs, of course. Of course.
He is evolving.
The maiden, the
I-
mother, and the crone.
Mm,
Gilfs
No.
is a whole
No,
other category.
The Norse thing, I traveled to Bifrost once. I nearly got lost. I'm still healing. Never again.
Did you throw up on Heimdall?
No, I did not throw up on Heimdall.
Did you throw up near him?
I did leave most of my lunch somewhere along the world tree. I can't remember where. I just remember that the big giant squirrel thing that was quite upset is named Ratatusk. That's a thing. But no, we do not. I have a personal thing. If any of the Norse pantheon are involved with it, I am not going to deal with it. That's someone else's problem. Okay, other stuff, sure, cool. Like some of the Fae nonsense, they can be reasoned with, typically with bribes. But yeah, no, those. If there is a religious pantheon, I've visited their planes of existence at least once. That was this last year. I did the Epcot tour, and they know about my training. So most of the mystical world knows who I am, but the mundane world doesn't know jack.
I am so getting a raven and leaving it in your room.
No, no.
As soon as you said you didn't want to deal with the Norse gods, I was like, so you're going to deal with the Norse gods because this seems great.
Okay, I can reason with Loki. I can. But Thor?
No, you can't. You try and you fail.
You can reason with Loki. Loki's reasonable enough. He's a much nicer guy than he's painted to be.
What I'm saying is like you think you're reasoning with him, and he's just going to make you do what he wants anyways because he talks you around to it.
But
Which
usually it doesn't endanger me.
This is true.
But Thor cannot be reasoned with. And Tyr, forget about it. Like, no, just no. Why are you on this plane? Please go home.
My last note for this is that I want a parody of Skater Boy that's called Satyr Girl. I was a satyr girl. I said, see you later, girl. And that's all I can think about. So thank you for that.
Enough time and it will probably happen.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Amazing. I also see you as like, I don't know, you're just being like brought around by your master to all of the like Fae courts and the Norse gods. And you're like, are you kind of a pet, do you think? Do you think she would treat you kind of like a
she doesn't treat me as a pet. She's far too analytical for that. Like in my mind, like she's a combination of like all those other like mystics, but her typical like demeanor is this weird mashup of John Constantine and Sherlock Holmes. It is nightmarish. Like there are demons that hit on her on the regular and she entertains that. Okay, that's a thing. And then like at the same time, like she can read the newspaper and immediately know precisely what villain's behind insert thing here just by reading the news and police reports and knows where to start. I have no clue how she does this. I have to consult the cards to get hints like that.
I love her and I want to be her and I'm excited because I will be her. So yes. Yay, GMing. All right. Transformed. Next question. Chameleon.
Next question. Who outside of the team is helping you understand your body? Nobody. She is on her own and has been since she left home 2 years ago. She is figuring this shit out on her own.
And she's not letting anyone in. It's like nobody knows about your body either.
No, she's had the few times that people have gotten glimpses of it, it did not end well for her.
Hmm. Can we have an example of one of those times? Because that sounds interesting.
Very briefly afterwards, she tried to continue with her life, going to school, and never being, again, average student, not being popular or anything like that. Somebody snatched her hood off
Hmm.
and freak. I mean, she has a +3 in freak. So it was the whole milkshakes, things being thrown, that kind of thing. It did not go well. And she disappeared shortly afterwards. So she stopped going to school. She's been living on the streets, living on her own. She has nobody. She's on her own.
Sad. All right. Next up, Alcestes, your next question.
Why do you oppose your nemesis?
Good question.
I think it's half and half, right? Because I'm going to embrace this Greek bullshit. And wonderfully, Pope introduced all of the other esoteric shit. So yay, I get to play with all of this now.
Yes.
I think it's repetitive destiny. The Psyche and Alcestis are always returning and always on their bullshit against each other. And half because so there's this, and there was, and I think it's partially to do with Eros, and I think it's partially to do with there's a curse involved somewhere. There's a curse. I'll figure it out.
That would tie in nicely with your doom.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the other half is like she not in her magical girl Wonder Woman aspect, who is trying to help out something, saw Psyche get on her, was being ultimate mean girl comments in her costume, not doing a supervillain bit, because I love the idea that Psyche isn't really a supervillain, or she's not known that she's a supervillain, but like Alcestis knows, and was making comments probably about Chameleon, and Alcestis just decked her, just straight up like punched her in the face. An ultimate bitch fight, but it's also furthered by the fact that they just physically can't get along and exist in the same space because they're cursed, and there's a whole thing tied to it.
Yeah, but that was like the tipping point where the real rivalry, like you always didn't like each other, but now it's like it is on.
It is.
Now you have an excuse.
Now I have an excuse.
Wonderful. So do you think you both went to the same school, maybe, Alcestes and Chameleon?
I don't know. Chameleon, what do you think? You're muted, Cleric.
I'm a professional streamer. I think so. I think we're not neighbors, but we're within the same school district, school zone. So yeah, we may not have gone to the same elementary school or middle school, but we did go to high school together. So it was kind of a I went to high school with 5,000 kids in it.
Yeah.
So, there's that whole, you are aware of people, but you don't know them. And it was probably one of those situations, especially after her transformation, that week or so that she started going to school and it completely covered up.
I'm kind of almost seeing it, if you're both okay with it, that like during that incident, that maybe it was Psyche that grabbed your hood and revealed you, and then you were traumatized, and
Yeah,
that's when Alceste stepped in.
Yeah, because Psyche's a bitch, and everybody knew
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Everybody knows it, but she just plays off being like she's the perfect little girl, and all of the teachers let her get away with it,
Yep.
except for that one history teacher.
Yep.
I'm interested.
Because she's popular and cute, and her daddy has money.
And Chameleon, being average, was always able to avoid that attention, that interaction. She was average. She was bland. She was in the background, and then all of a sudden she stood out, and that's when Psyche pounced.
Because Psyche also would have powers of her own, so perhaps she has almost this like empathetic power to sense vulnerability or fear or differences in people. So she was just like,
Yep.
And she's Psyche, so she fucks with people's minds and their emotions.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
she's got the full, like, where you have the TK, she's like the mental and emotional whammy. Like full on like Professor X Jean Grey without the TK bullshit.
I'm thinking more like Emma Frost for
Mhm.
Alcestis. You know, can do the memory manipulation, can do the telekinetics, and can seriously drain your ass.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're the far more martial.
Yes,
I'm
sure.
thinking Psyche is just all of a sudden like everyone's on her side. Everyone
Yeah,
like
exactly.
can full on like supernaturally gaslight people. Just horrific.
And the emotional manipulation of either of pulling, not just gaslighting people, but also that's her clique. She's got people because she can. She just you'll be my friend. You like me. You like me. That's why all the teachers like her. There's that one history teacher though that they've got that block or whatever that lets them.
I like the idea that the history teacher is the war vet with the metal plate in his head.
Yeah. And she hates him because she could never get into his head.
But yes, and has no tolerance for her bullshit. Yep.
Yeah, and he has tenure, so the money thing don't matter.
Exactly.
He's set.
He's
She
set.
took his class for 1 week and got herself transferred.
Yes.
Spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure Psyche is basically the character I'm going to be playing in the Big Eyes Small Mouth campaign coming up in May. Their powers are very similar.
But she's not a bitch.
We'll see.
We'll see.
No,
we'll see
not.
about that campaign.
She's
That campaign
cold,
is going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. So stay tuned for that coming up in May. Yes,
Spoiler
I
alert.
love it.
Yeah,
All
Chameleon's
right.
on her own.
Cool. Cool. And Adam.
Hi. I got my superhero name now.
Great.
I am Vigil.
Love it. Vigil, the beacon.
Yeah.
And who outside of the team thinks that you shouldn't be a superhero other than the police?
Surprisingly enough, my grandma is okay with me being a superhero. And she encourages it. And she's behind me 100%.
I love it.
Does she brag about you to the other old ladies at the church,
No,
social
but
group, whatever?
I am going to change something about what I said at the beginning of the game. My costume will not be cobbled together from an army surplus store.
Maybe your first one was or something.
Yeah. My grandma made it.
Aw, yay. Yes.
And I'm looking at pictures of what I wanted, what I think it's gonna look like. Like I'm looking at very budget costumes for superheroes, but with like additional like protection. Like she's not gonna send me out in spandex. But I would need help from everybody else. Because I don't know who outside of the team thinks I shouldn't be a superhero. Aside from, like, just about everyone on the street.
I mean, actually, with your superhero antics, like I see you being accepted by your neighborhood, but not accepted by anyone outside it. Like the other communities see you as a menace or tragedy in waiting, while your
Mm.
community has your back.
Like, is there like a neighborhood watch or a homeowners association? Is that a
Uh,
thing?
Well,
they're
in
more like neighborhood specific, like small
yeah,
neighborhoods will have a watch and that kind of thing.
So
um,
maybe a neighborhood watch in your neighborhood. There's one person that was in that neighborhood watch who's like,
Or the local paper. We can give you a JJJ,
Hmm.
honestly.
Or social media, like kick-ass style.
ooh,
ooh, no, I
Digital
know,
blogger.
I know who.
Mhm.
Um, so after I've been doing this for a year and a half, after about a year, I couldn't. There was too much pressure. I couldn't keep my secret life away from my then girlfriend.
Ooh.
And I came out as I was like, I showed up, Peter Parker style, trying to get the whole romantic thing going and like
Mm-hmm.
revealing myself. And she was like, I'm leaving you.
Oh,
Because what you're
snap.
doing is dangerous and you're going to kill yourself.
Hmm.
And I don't want any part of it.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Do you think you two would have been together for like a while?
I think like I want the only reason for our breakup to be because I chose the superhero life.
Hmm.
And she just couldn't handle that.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Mm-hmm.
how same as how like sometimes a spouse could have trouble living with a police officer or like a
Mm-hmm.
firefighter
Mm-hmm.
because of the danger, or even a soldier because of the danger inherent to their job, and how they just can't live with the anxiety all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Except that in this case, it's not a job. I decided to go out at night and get myself beat up.
Hmm.
So.
And hopefully beat up other people too
Oh yeah, after a
sometimes.
year and a half, I'm very good at what I do.
Okay, good. Okay, so I have a thought, and
Yes.
let me know if you want to take it or leave it. But I do see a lot of in Asian couples, especially Asian high school couples, they would have been together for a long time because their parents knew each other or their families knew each other.
Mm.
Do you think that might have been how you met?
Oh yeah. Since we were 8,
Mm, cute.
and she lives the apartment right across the street from my grandma,
Mm,
and that's how our parents met, because they ended up growing up. Her parents and my parents, well,
mm,
and my mom actually grew up. So we'll say her father and my
mm,
mom grew up together on that street, and they've known each other ever since. So yeah, of course, when we were younger, there were like play dates and everything.
mm,
Um, and I think we started quote unquote dating
mm.
from like 12 onwards.
Oh, so cute, so cute. Makes me so sad. What's her name? I'm gonna hit you with another name conundrum. We can name her later if you like.
I'll look up a name.
Great. All right. Awesome. We are getting near to the end of backstory. Harrow.
Yes. Next question is why do you care about the team? And I want to change one thing. Because I just realized how many pantheons he's been dragged in front of and how much time that would take. He's 19,
Okay.
but he was absconded with when 15.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's an education gap.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it comes to classics and actually, the occult, aces.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to, trig or calculus, I can't help you with that.
pop culture.
Because
Yeah.
he just stopped going to high school at
Well,
15,
also he
essentially.
stopped going into the world. Like,
Right.
no, you're absolutely right. There's pop culture stuff that he doesn't get right now. He's sort of like almost out of time because yes, I get these cultural cues and references from the Bronze Age, but some of the stuff that's modern, what's flossing? Is the teeth thing like what? Why is that? You're telling me it's a dance? Um, like stuff like that. Twitch? What's that? Is it a condition? Um, so I'm just thinking, yeah, no, he's older, he's been away from the world, but the reason why he's with this group is the team lets him be normal. He gets to be away from that mystical world and back in the real world. That's why he's kind of just desperately clinging to this group, is he gets away from his mentor, he gets away from her and that world, and gets to be part of something that he's realized he's missed.
I love it. So heartwarming. Chameleon, why do you care about the team?
She doesn't yet. She hasn't formed an emotional attachment to the team. She stays with them because they haven't rejected her yet, and that's the way she sees it. She's been alone for 2 years. These are nominal peers. She recognized Alcestis from school, kind of like, oh yeah, you were that girl. Oh, and I think that's the tenuous bond that keeps her with this group right now is Alcestis. She recognized her from that moment in school, but the others haven't rejected her, so she's hanging around for now.
I like it. Beauty. Alcestis, why do you care about the team?
I also have another question.
Yes.
Because I have who outside of the team is crucial to defeating your nemesis.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I think we skipped.
Yeah, I was gonna say I skipped one too. Why don't you hold yourself away?
Yeah, I think we should have two questions left each.
Yeah.
I think it's because some people were going on, but it's okay.
Harrow, I think the question that we missed from you is why did your mentor agree to train you? But I think we kind of know already.
We did skip that. That was my fault. I know why. It's very simple. The previous holder of the deck was a dick. Full on Guy Gardner, just asshole.
Dick.
So while having cosmic and terrible powers, he was kind of irresponsible and just caused everybody no end of headaches. So she's trying to stop that from happening this incarnation.
Makes sense. All right. Perfect. And sorry, Chameleon, the other question, why don't you just try to hide yourself away?
She tried, and whatever the event was that brought them all together, I mentioned there was some calamity or whatever, something happened that they all had to meet at, and she happened to be in the area and was put in a position where she couldn't run away. She couldn't hide. She had to do something to help. Probably again recognized Alcestis and was like, I can't let this. There's a debt there. I owe her. So she would have stepped in, and afterwards, just kind of ended up hanging around with them. Maybe tried to leave, and they were like, "No, why don't you come with us?"
Alcestis took you home and shoved you in front of her mother because she knew that you needed to eat something.
Probably.
Those who save lives together stay together.
Yeah, but she and she's very awkward, and I imagine that the same thing happened with that.
Muted on the last part.
There's that whole
That's okay.
feed you thing.
Mm.
So yeah,
You were fed.
Yeah.
Great.
Adopted against your will.
That's what, immigrant families tend to do. It's like,
Yeah,
we
know.
feed you, now you're ours.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Done there.
So, Alcestis, what was your next question again?
Who outside of the team is crucial to defeating your nemesis? I want to say, although he doesn't know it, Harrow.
He's in the team, though.
Oh yeah, he's on the team. Someone Harrow met on the
I
trip.
have an
Go.
idea.
Go.
If you're into it. The history teacher,
Ooh, that could work.
if you're into it. Could be. We've already
Because-
discovered he's immune.
He's immune, and I like the idea that he's a vet, but I even like the idea of having been stationed overseas
Mm-hmm.
in various particular portions of the Eastern Mediterranean. At a certain point, he knows, but he doesn't necessarily remember certain portions of that curse terminology.
I also, since you have the predestiny thing, and we're on our mythological bullshit. He's
so are.
Ajax.
Of course he is.
Yes.
Yes, he is. He is the.
I think he's a retired hero.
He's a ooh.
Oh yes.
Def. He's Ajax, the retired hero, but he doesn't like to talk about it.
And he recognized Psyche.
He kept his
That
secret
also-
identity secret.
Oh, it pissed Psyche off. Because she doesn't know, but he recognized her.
Can his mundane name be Jack? 'Cause I like that.
Yes.
Yay. Awesome. Cool. And Vigil,
Yes.
what was your second last question?
Hi. Second last question. Why do you try to be a hero? Because I care. Because he has this thing where he just can't let things remain the way they are. He has to fight the status quo. He has to do something.
Cannot let evil go unpunished. Awesome. And then we already know why Harrow and Chameleon care about the team. So Alcestis, why do you care about the team?
I think it's twofold. One, because she likes having friends and she's nice. And listening to this whole thing, apparently she's like the most relatively well-adjusted person
Yeah.
out of them all, even though she's doomed and cursed. It's like, yeah, it's a thing. It happens. Whatever.
Good family upbringing. We'll do
Exactly.
that.
Don't worry about my brother Dionysus. You just kind of embrace the name. It's a thing. But other than that, my brothers are pretty well. Okay, there's Heracles, but they're okay.
Yeah.
I think she enjoys their friendship, but I also think she uses it, although she doesn't necessarily think about it or talk about it, as a disassociation from the overwhelming doom that's upon her.
Almost like a state of denial.
Yeah, but I don't think she's like thought about that or actually put words on it, but I think it's her avoidance too.
I feel that. I do that every day with all kinds of things.
Exactly.
Great. And
Procrastination.
yes.
It's a thing. Even when you're doomed, you can procrastinate your doom.
That's basically all you're doing, yeah. Vigil, why do you care about the team?
I care about the team because aside from my grandma, who was always behind me, I've never had any other like people that would understand what I do.
Hmm. Like
And
people in your life.
yeah, people in my life, and
Mm-hmm.
also I don't have powers.
Mm-hmm.
They have powers. They have one of them's a magician. The other one can shapeshift, do things, and then there's Telekinesis Girl. I mean, I'm very lucky to have friends like these.
Mm-hmm. Are you like geeking out a little bit about them because they actually have powers?
Oh,
Are you
actually,
Deku?
my influence on my sheet forces me to geek out about them.
Oh, great.
So I'm
Yay.
I'm definitely geeking out.
You're Deku. I know you haven't seen My Hero Academia, but you're Deku.
Okay.
Just know that.
All right.
Awesome.
I'll oof. I will wiki it him
Hmm.
them.
He's the main character. He was the only one in the world of like almost everyone having superpowers. He just randomly happened to be born without them, and so he's like a huge fanboy for superheroes. Anyways, not too important. But yeah. Yay. This all makes me very happy. Good backstories, everyone. I am so excited by all of this. Now we just have to figure out your team's backstory. So I am going to ask the questions in the order of this sheet, if I can get back to the sheet. And then I think we should be able to go till like 11, and then we'll have everything more or less in place.
Okay.
And then we'll be ready next time to jump into the game. What have I done? There we go. Oh my gosh. There we go. When our team first came together, the first question. So we're going to build a backstory of how you all met. Of course, we have a little bit built in between the high school connection. We know it's a big city. It's a big metropolitan city, very diverse, lots of superheroes around, but there would have been some kind of calamity that would have brought you all together. So think of maybe an enemy or some big event that would have occurred in the city that would have garnered the attention of all of you. One of the biggest things in Toronto, if you want to use this as a sticking point, is this is the CN Tower. It is like the heart of Toronto. So maybe something happened to the tower. Maybe something happened, online, digitally. What do you think your character would have felt motivated to fight against?
Dimensional rifts are really bad,
Mm-hmm.
especially when stuff pours out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And especially because you've been traveling through different, you've been plane hopping. That does things to
Well,
the fabrics.
you develop a sensitivity, but there's also this entire destiny thing where stuff just opens because things are supposed to happen, and it's a pain in the ass. Especially if you don't know about it until right after lunch.
I also like to think that, I mean, with you've been traveling around, visiting all these courts. Attention is being drawn to you, and even though you haven't visited, there hasn't been a lot of negative except for maybe the winter court. Words getting around that
Mm.
there's this new owner of the deck, which
Even
means that there's likely a new generation that's
even if
coming up.
even if you're trying to hide the new order of the deck thing, you are an apprentice of a serious badass. She chose you for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
She has
Oh,
reputation, so you must have some sort of value. She
okay,
wouldn't tolerate idiots.
let's go full bullshit here then.
Come on.
So hell, there are many different hells. One of them opened at the base of the tower. and demons started pouring through,
Okay.
as well as the damned. That's yeah, that I can't ignore that. That's my kind of problem.
And that's also at the very end of Spadina, Mr. Vigil.
Yep.
That's in your hood.
They could have easily I mean, I think Vigil is the last member on the team
What do you mean by that?
to have been included in the team.
Hmm?
Like he's the last one, the most recent member, I should say.
Hmm.
And probably because things went, whatever disaster happened, things poured out, and eventually they reached me, probably within a day or so. But I found myself overwhelmed, and then I saw these cool people fighting, and I was like, I'm gonna help you guys. And the rest is history.
Okay, so I like to think the timeline is portal opens, stuff comes pouring out. I'm probably the first one on the scene, but I can only do so much. I also can only dream so big right now. I'm not in the full control of my powers yet. So I can't just look at them and turn all their blood into CKY. I can do that with a small pocket. But yeah, trying to herd them cattle back or knock them unconscious, I can only do so much, and it just kept escalating and escalating
What if
until
Go ahead.
Chinatown has now a herd of demon cattle running through the streets.
I don't like that.
The way I see this is with a calamity of this scale, it probably would be like a whole call out to all of the superheroes in the city. And we're talking about like almost the whole downtown core being overrun with demons. And all of you probably would have heard the call, and then it would have been kind of a free for all of just fighting, and then you would see each other, sort of thing,
I like
works.
it end up being the Avengers moment in the first Avengers, where you're like you everyone calls out and we kind of end up in the same general area near to where Vigil is put up. And like I love the idea that Chameleon and Alcestis were somewhere, and Alcestis was trying to convince Chameleon to go back to school classes with her, because it's like, no, it's totally fine, okay, whatever. Like there was a coffee shop, and then there was bullshit happening.
Krispy Kreme.
The Krispy Kreme, because the hot light was on.
Yes.
And then there were demons coming for the hot light, and that shit ain't fair, y'all.
Yeah, there was just this whole demon calamity catastrophe, and you're like, this is the time to ask Chameleon to come back to school and have a heart to heart.
It was like an occurrence, and then it happened.
Yeah, you recognize the eyes, and so you were like, hey, come on, let's go get some coffee and donuts.
We can get some coffee and donuts. It'll be fine. We can talk about this. It'll be great. And then things started happening, and it's that moment of like, okay, well, you just don't want things to get further down the street, so these are the guys that you end up with. And I love the idea that Alcestis was going to practice, so whether it was for in season or not, she had her bag with her and her gear, and so she hasn't done the magical girl transformation or anything yet, but she's fighting demons with a baseball bat.
Yes.
And then because they're a little overwhelmed, and that's when she does the transformation bullshit.
And Chameleon was like, what the? And then she gets grabbed by a demon. Clothes are shredded. Demon flesh touches her. Now she's a demon fighting these demons.
And I love the idea that, hey Simon, are you okay if I do something for you?
Sure.
For this idea.
Does I get my ass kicked?
No.
Okay.
I love the idea that you don't know who Chameleon is, and you think she's actually a demon. And go to try and kick her ass, and then someone else intervenes. No. Those are targets, not her.
Hmm. Or maybe even that's how Harrow comes in and
Yeah,
you
one of the
three
two.
come together. Yeah, and then maybe Vigil is
Mm-hmm.
keeping Vigil
As
or
it
something
were.
like that. Hmm. As you do.
Mm-hmm.
I like this. What do you think?
Hmm.
Sure.
Hmm. 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 All hell broke loose, and that's how we
Literally.
became friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then afterwards, there was baklava and pastries at home.
mm-hmm. And
Except
take out
there's-
Krispy Kreme.
There's one problem is that Chameleon, in order to fully blend into her environment, she's got to take off her clothes.
Mm.
So I mean, if she's trying to hide by being it's a look like a demon, she's now a demon in sweats. That's not going to work. So there's this. That's
I
an
can
issue.
easily be confused by a demon in sweats.
I like this idea.
Shit, this demon stole clothes from someone.
No.
Okay.
Wait. Are they using transmutation spells? Did they just turn a random civilian into a demon? Oh, hell, this has gotten far worse.
Yeah, so there's a demon in sweats doing just tearing apart other demons.
And at a
I
certain
like it.
point,
No.
and then Alcest, I like the idea of Alcestis literally putting herself in the way. It's like, nope, them.
You can tell them apart by the sweatpants.
Yeah, exactly. And if you look really closely, you can see right around her mouth, she's got a little powdered sugar. It's fine.
We'll put a pin in that. Throws like hellfire at something. You get back in there.
There's a comment in chat from Godless Lawyer that I like, but I don't know how the timelines are going to work out. But it says, while visiting Ripley's aquarium, which is right next to the CN Tower, with his girlfriend, Adam chose to battle a hell rift rather than watch the jellyfish, damning the relationship and cementing his status as a member of the super team.
Yes.
Which is interesting. Chronologically, I feel like I had gotten the impression that she broke up with you like right when you became a superhero, but it could possibly work out that
Trying to get her
Well,
back.
here's what we could do. Yeah. So she broke up with me. I went on a stretch of like superheroing by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Then, because she broke up about 6 months ago.
Okay.
So I kept going and then, wanted to get her back. So I told myself I'll stop. I never really put the costume away. And then we go to Ripley's aquarium one day to try to mend things. And then when all hell breaks loose, I disappear. And she knows quite well what I'm doing, but we haven't spoken since.
Awkward.
Oh God, you pulled a Clark Kent Superman, didn't you?
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you, Godless Lawyer. Yay.
Yee.
Yay. All right. So that's the story. So now, questions. The Doomed. We paid a high cost for victory. What was it? Other than Adam's relationship. A lot of the city would have been destroyed, a lot of infrastructure, but that's
No,
not
it's-
really your fault. That's the
not my
demon's fault.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not my fault. But it's something that's
Something had to be
Ooh.
sacrificed in order for the victory to occur.
Ooh.
No, go for me. I have thoughts, but I'm not 100%.
Could it be that there was a fifth member to our team? And they went through the portal to close it? Like Iron Man at the end of Avengers? But they didn't come back?
I would almost like to say, if we went that route, I would almost like to say Varun Patel or Sorceress Supreme ended up through there. I wouldn't say Ajax, maybe, because Ajax is
Actually,
necessary
no,
for
no.
Nemesis fighting.
I have a terrible idea, but I need permission.
From who?
Deidre, you're
Yeah,
not gonna like this.
we're gonna be on our bullshit. Go for it. Which one of my brothers? Which one of my brothers are we sacrificing?
Polynices.
Yeah, he's going to become a demon prince, isn't he? Okay.
He's downstairs now.
Okay, spoiler alert, have more fun, Lily. The twins are Polynices and Eteocles, and they are named after the two brothers that are fighting over the city of Thebes after
The war.
no, it's in the names are in my head and they're not coming out.
Antigone.
Antigone, yes. They're the brothers of Antigone, and their father is Oedipus. Oedipus, all the things that happen with Oedipus go
Creon.
down.
Well,
Creon happens later.
Okay.
Creon happens with Antigone, and we'll get
Yeah.
to that. But the one in the middle is there's Oedipus, and then there's Seven Against Thebes, and then there's Antigone. And this is the middle play. Oedipus, he discovers that he has some issues. He pieces out after he blinds himself, and he leaves his two sons, Polynices and Eteocles, to defend the city of Thebes, and they're supposed to share the rule of Thebes. They
Which always
draw
goes well.
lots. It always goes well. They draw lots. Eteocles ends up king. It's supposed to only be for a year. Polynices comes, says, "Hey, my turn to be king now." And Eteocles says, "Nope, I'm king." And Polynices says, "Fuck you," and goes and gets an army and attacks the city. Have fun with that. And if he's now in hell, did my brother just become a supervillain? Sure.
Oopsies.
Interesting. Why did he have to be sacrificed for the victory? Or what went about in that he fell into the hole or whatever?
I
He chose
think
it?
I think he chose it.
Mhm.
And I think it has to do with the fact that because they're twins and they're Gemini and they're going more back into the Greek thing, they can control portals and doors. But this one for some reason wouldn't close. It's been damaged somehow, so he had to close it from the other side.
Or the brothers had to close it together. One on one
One on
side.
each
On each
side.
side.
One on the
Yeah.
other.
Yeah,
Yes.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because one can open, one can close, but this one had to be closed.
Because of the way the portal worked.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I
I
like
also
that.
think that they probably would have opened in a similar fashion.
Really?
Just saying. Oh.
That one of them
I-
may have
Oh,
opened the
so
portal?
like it might be one of them's fault.
Maybe not necessarily them, but I'm saying someone in the mortal realm would have
Hmm.
opened it.
Someone summoned this.
Someone summoned it,
yes.
and the Polynices and Eteocles had to close it. Polynices is the one that had to go to the other side, and
They
I
drew
wonder
straws
why.
and
Did he volunteer? Did they both volunteer? How could his twin just let him do that? I'm curious.
I think it ended up they were supposed to be drawing lots, and
Actually, we didn't draw lots.
they drew the cards said.
cards
And-
decided.
And everyone else in the family was busy with other shit. Actually, no, it wasn't the cards. It was the cards, but you didn't have them at the time, or you dropped them,
Okay.
and it was Dionysus who read them to fuck up the family even more because I'm on my bullshit.
No. The brothers couldn't draw from the deck. I don't know why they couldn't draw cards. They just couldn't.
Yeah,
But then your drunken ass brother just comes over and like grabs the deck, slams a card down on the
Yeah.
table, and tells us immediately who needs
Yeah.
to be on what side.
exactly. Drunken ass
Who
brother
knows if
fucks
he
shit
was
up.
telling the truth?
I love the idea that he has Cassandra syndrome.
Full on, 100%.
Oh.
And haunted nightmares. Like sleep for him, unless he is in a drunken stupor, is
Doesn't exist.
hell.
Is hell, and I love.
If you've seen the Umbrella
Yeah.
Academy, Klaus.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
he has, but he has full on Cassandra syndrome, and the only people it doesn't work on are his immediate siblings. It doesn't even work on his parents. The parents don't always believe him, but they're willing to like let it go. But the siblings all can understand him. And
I think because of
know
the
what he's
deck,
choosing.
I believe him.
Yeah,
But it's
and
only
because
of the
none
deck.
of And because none of the siblings, like Eteocles, Heracles, or me, I don't think I objected as strenuously as you expected.
Hmm.
Shows that we believed him.
Cool. Love it. Nice. Yes. 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 Okay, great. Chameleon.
Yes.
Yes, so much drama. You drew attention and ire from plenty during the fight. One person in particular now hates and fears us. Who is it?
Psyche was pissed
Mm-hmm.
because Psyche didn't get to be a part of this.
Hmm.
I think Psyche wants to see herself as a hero,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
wants to see herself as a force of good, and didn't get to be a part of this. And it was very much well, why didn't you call me? I could have helped.
Hmm.
Maybe I could. And so I think Psyche hates us for that
Hmm.
because we're peers. Uh, it's and she should have been a part of this, and she fears us because she's seen the the synergy of the group.
Mm-hmm.
We're not just individuals now; we are a team, and that's scary.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Let me take it a little deeper if you're cool with it. So, giant calamity, demons running around everywhere, portal to hell. There's like alert beacons all over the city, like, please, superheroes, come and help. But maybe Psyche has something going on with her parents where they didn't allow her to go. So she was being held back by something where all of you had the freedom to go and fight.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Daddy's got money, but not a lot of time and attention for her, perhaps.
And she resents us for having that freedom as well. So that she doesn't see her parents as responsible. They're not the ones to blame for that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We are. It's
Mm-hmm.
our fault because we were available.
Mm-hmm. And maybe, because your brother sacrificed himself to end this calamity, I'm sure you got a lot of public attention.
Did Psyche have a crush on him?
Yes, that's what I
Ooh.
wanted to say. I wanted to say between the twins, like Polynices was her favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I like
And
this idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
now he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been Eteocles. Why
Mhm.
couldn't it have been him?
Mm-hmm.
And why would Augustus let her brother do that? Why would Harrow let that happen?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cool.
So yeah, there's a lot. Psyche hates us, and Psyche fears us.
Psyche should consider therapy also.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Psyche needs some psychiatric care.
Yeah.
Have
Ironic.
you read Psyche and Cupid?
Yeah.
I have not, but I'm going to after this.
Ovid's Metamorphoses. It's a short story in the Metamorphoses called Psyche and Cupid. She needs some help. A lot of help.
A lot of help.
Looking forward to it. Awesome. Protege, we stuck together after all was said and done. Why and how did you keep in contact?
The why I need help with. The keeping in contact, well, I love me some props.
Mm-hmm.
While this stays with me at all times, I can make copies of cards.
Mm-hmm.
And I can
Calling
use those
card.
cards to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
So you each got your own card. It also helps me out because I now know in the readings when certain things come up, I need you to do X. So it is your calling card, but it's also your card in correspondence.
Nice.
Can I also say that at some point Alcestis is just like, I can buy you a cell phone.
This is easier.
But I can buy you a cell phone and it's not so weird when I'm at class. I can text you.
But I don't have to pay for anything. This is free. Also, have you tried to use his cell phone on the astral plane? It
The
doesn't
reception
work.
sucks.
So is it just that we get a card just shows up in our pocket, or how is this going to work?
Well, no, you each have been given a card. It's now tied to you. As much as you want to leave it behind, it keeps finding itself on your person.
Oh, good.
And when one of us needs to communicate with the other, all you have to do is draw the card and think of the individual, and all of a sudden you have two-way communication.
Like a walkie-talkie, or is it like
Yeah.
text-based?
It's audio. It's audio only. But if you'll let me, it has one other gimmick because I'm a fan of very particular fiction.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go to the other person, you put your hands on the card, and if the other person puts the hand on their card, they can pull the other person to them.
Oh, like you can put your hand through and then
It's like a little portal.
You can grab, as long as you have both cards, you can teleport to the other person.
That's why we don't need cell phones, Alcestes. This is much cooler.
Chameleon keeps burning our card.
And it keeps showing back up.
She hates that. Oh my god, she hates it. Would you leave me alone?
I love the image of Alcestis having left it various places, like just in her bag or something, and like doesn't even pay attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes to pick up her phone and starts texting like Harrow, and it's like, oh wait, there's the damn card. Okay.
Yes. Just so I'm familiar with the mechanic of it, so both people have a card.
All of the team has a card, or I have the deck.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as one person is focusing on another member of the team, that card all of a sudden makes a noise and heats up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so you're kind of forced to answer it. And then you have, as long as you're holding on to the card, you can have two-way communication verbally.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want to, and the other person consents,
Mm-hmm.
you can teleport to the other person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm good with the teleportation. I'm just trying to picture, do both people have to have their cards in their hands at the same time, like walkie-talkie style? Okay. Yeah. Okay. And it's not just, and all of the cards communicate with each other, not just your main deck communicates with everyone else.
Yeah. No, all the cards can communicate with one another.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this thing refuses to leave me. It's always on my person, and yeah, this is how I do half of my magic.
Yeah, I'm down with it. The teleportation part will be a move that is called shape your environment or something along those lines. So sometimes it won't be as successful. Yeah, unleash your power. Sometimes it won't be as successful, but it can be a mechanic that we work in.
Okay. Cool stuff.
Sweet.
As to the why we stuck together,
mm-hmm.
I know why Vigil stuck with us, because we're cool.
Yeah.
I love you guys because you let me be a person in this particular reality where people exist. And I love this because I like people. Einjar can only be indulged so long. But I'm curious as to why Alcestis and Chameleon would put up with the rest of us.
It's more of a question of like, why did you form a team? Because we all know like your personal motivations about why you're with the team, but it's like, what necessity was there for the team to exist and for you to all be a part of it?
I think we all recognized each other's abilities. We each have a very, pardon the expression, unique set of skills that mesh well. We can each handle a different area. And I think that meshes well. We all went, oh, wait a minute. So there was at some point during that fight where Chameleon and Vigil had to team up on something to take down. There was, Alcestis did. she and Harrow did, and everybody had that one moment where they paired off with somebody
Mhm.
else. Again, just like in the first Avengers movie,
Mhm.
And
everybody
that
had a moment that paired off.
and that moment of that image of Cap lifting or giving the lift to
Right.
Black Widow.
not Black Widow, but it's like that's something that having a sister who did cheerleading and stunt work in cheerleading, that shot is like you need to have absolute trust and know exactly where everyone's going to be
Yes.
in the exact moment, and it's like that level of synergy for people who've never done it before, priceless.
Yeah,
And I
we
think
probably
that's one of
found out
those.
we matched or
Yeah, that connection was there. It was
And I think
um,
and I think for Alcestis, because of the way who she is and the way she is, I think it's like destiny. So you're all coming to dinner, right? And then
for
there was-
Kestis, it was like team sports.
yeah, exactly. Team
Well,
sports.
like I'm just picturing in that team up moment, I'm seeing Vigil struggle, but he's still holding his own, and then the blessing of Ra be upon you, and all of a sudden his staff is hitting like a mystical weapon, and these demons don't know what hit them.
Yes.
And in his hands, that weapon is a nightmare for them.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I would stick around then. Like, if you wait, you can make me cooler. I am here for this.
Oh my god. I wish you knew my friend Calvin because just like it's so weird. Oh my god, I'm gonna make Calvin watch it because it's just great. Yes, all of this, yes. Great. All right, last question. Vigil, we
Yeah.
found signs that this incident was just the start of something bigger. What were the signs?
I'm thinking like some sort of conspiracy.
I will remind we do know one sign already, which is that it had to be opened from both sides of the portal. So something going on there.
So I'm thinking, do we have to do like is the answer to that question the whole thing, or can we leave some like loose ends in this?
Oh yeah, loose ends. You could just say like we found a shoe next to a thing, and that's
Okay,
a
and that
sign,
would be
yeah.
enough. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to Peter Parker the hell out of you right now.
You want to what?
Peter Parker the hell out of you right now.
Yeah,
This
I'm
is
trying.
somehow. This conspiracy is somehow tied with your parents' deaths.
Huh. I don't know how. I don't know
But
when.
it's somehow tied, and your grandmother knows more than she's letting on.
Ooh.
Ooh, she's like grooming me to become a
Ooh.
superhero, but I don't
But
know
she
that.
also knows what happened to your parents, and she won't tell you.
But she was supposed to be sweet and shit.
She always
She
told you
is.
She'll be sweet.
she always told you she would tell you when you're older.
You're not ready for it yet.
Have
Maybe
some
grandma
dreams.
did something during the fight. That would have been a sign.
Oh, grandma knows some Chinese mysticism. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, but she keeps saying it's like yoga or some
Tai
very
Chi.
mundane Tai Chi, like mundane thing, but
Oh,
It's
Y'all ever
like-
seen the Asian woman in the park that just swing their arms back and forth?
No, she joins the Tai Chi. She does the Chinese park old lady Tai Chi in the morning.
oh
Yeah.
no,
Yes,
I have
But during that fight, Grandma kicked some ass, and nobody quite saw it.
yes, because
just-
I know who my grandma is.
Except Dionysus.
So I'm going to
So when he says it, the only person who believes him is me.
this Zoom chat and Twitch chat. This is my grandma.
Oh, I love you so
Yes.
much for
Yes.
this right now.
Yes.
Oh my god, yes.
I don't know if sweet is the adjective I would
No,
use
but I
to
mean-
describe her.
But she
She's
would-
loving.
Yeah,
Loving.
she's sweet with me.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sweet but tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
She doesn't
Okay.
take shit from anyone.
So she did something during the fight that alludes to this fight being connected to your parents' death.
Yeah. All right, I'll go with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have an entire like maybe Cult of the Dragon sort of nonsense going on here.
Hmm.
What's the Cult of the Dragon?
Great.
D&D.
Go watch
Precisely
it.
the question.
Go watch it.
But there are many hells in Chinese lore,
Hmm.
Mm.
and I'm now realizing what particular hells were being opened.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, you need to summon that stuff upstairs. You can't do that on your lonesome.
Hmm.
And there are particularly nasty things, shadowy things, big things
Hmm.
that are downstairs. And this
But
was
I'm
just
a
a few
kid with a
floors
stick.
above. Yeah, you're just a
Yeah.
kid with a stick.
You're just a kid with a stick, and I'm just a girl with a baseball bat who can rip, the facade off of a building and drop it on somebody. It's fine.
Oh, if it serves as any inspiration for you, Lily, the more I've been jumping from one inspiration to another, and I think what I landed with for most of my roleplay and personality, I think I'm gonna go more Sun Wukong than what I thought.
Okay. Okay.
Well, that
I mean,
just
I
plays
have a
into my hand.
staff, acrobatics,
Mm-hmm.
and I am clearly the comic relief of the team.
Cool.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, this is tied to your parents, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is gonna. Oh, you're. Oh.
I'm just curious. I'm trying to envision like what this aha moment was during the fight where your grandma was fighting and then it was like, oh, this is related to your parents' death.
I think I saw coming out of the portal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as we're fighting, I figure we're like surrounding the demons, and we're basically cutting them off from the rest of Toronto, except for a few stragglers that left and fled. And we're centering on the tower. And as we do so, and of course there's like a shit ton of superheroes. And at some point, someone flies by Adam, and he looks up and just went, "Mom?"
Hmm. And then your grandma was like, that's not your mother. Go back to fighting.
Yeah, or Grandma was like, "Oh, she's far away at that moment, so I don't know what it is. She won't tell me." But I'm pretty
Okay.
sure I saw my mom fly over like during the fight.
I like there to be an extra layer with Dionysus seeing Grandma do the mystical thing. Because after everything that's happened, I would believe him. But then I do like a scan on Grandma. She seems as mundane as can be.
Oh yeah, of course. No one can pierce
Absolutely
Grandma's
perf-
veil.
Yeah.
Mama.
No. Mama has the whoosh whammy. Like she can look completely mundane to any mystical bullshit.
I wish that was your superhero name, I gotta say. But yeah, I like this. I like this very much. So, hell yeah, guys. This has been super amazing. There's a few other parts of your character sheets that aren't as interesting for streaming, so we can just take care of them on the back end, on the aside. And I can't wait to start playing this. It's very interesting. So, yeah, dang, I've got some research to do on a bunch of different mythologies and stuff, and this is a very interesting game, and I'm so excited. And I just can't even. This has been amazing.
And one last thing. I think I know the Sorceress Supreme's name.
Mm.
Thank you, Kat. Her name is Strega Dark.
Strega Dark. I like it.
Can you just call her Strega Nocte?
Sure.
Yes.
Strega Nocte.
Because, you
Great.
know.
Yeah.
Awesome. Super awesome. Well, everyone who's been sticking around and watching us battle through this drama and history together, I am super excited for you to come back next week and see this actually come into fruition and see
Yep.
how I'll tie all of these things together. The interesting thing about masks that I've always noticed that everyone has these like disjointed backstories and they're all kind of fragmented and stuff, but somehow everything always ends up like aligning just perfectly. Like all of these things have just molded together and I love it. And I'm super excited.
That's one of the best collaborative world building setups that I've seen in any game system.
Yes. I'm very into it. Just a small thing. I'm actually working on a D&D one shot right now where I'm trying to incorporate some of that into like the world of D&D. So it's not so much like we all meet at a tavern. We're part of a traveling caravan. It's like, let's get some actual like backstory, some meat in here. Team building. Yes.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right then. Well, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you everyone who hung out in chat. Thank you to all of you who donated, hosted, followed. Thank you to all of you watching the VOD over on YouTube. It's always greatly appreciated to know that we have fans over on the other platform. Thank you to our sponsors, Mage and Press, Found Familiar, Dice Envy. You can check them out down below or on their website, store.mageandpress.com and foundfamiliar.com. Without further ado, let's just go around the table one last time. Tell us who you are, where we can find you, and what you have going on in your internet lives. And I'll do the same order than we did when we introduced ourselves. So I'll pass the mic on to Lily.
Hi, I'm Lily. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Just a Little Nerd. I play lots of tabletop RPGs and stream lots of things. So if you follow me on social media, you'll find my things. I also have a Patreon page where I post D&D NPCs and encounters and some modeling photos because I do all kinds of stuff. And you can find that at patreon.com/justalil. And thank you so much for watching. And I'm so excited about this and tossing it off to Deidre.
Yes. Hi. Hey, all. You know me. I'm at Deirdre Dunlin on Twitter or Praxagorth Esmiophoria as you see me hanging out in the Twitch chat. I cannot wait because this is going to be so much fun. And I get to be on all my ish. It'll be great. It'll be so great. But as for me, you can find me back here a lot. I hang out here a lot. Just come see me here. I come see me here. But more importantly, on Saturday, I'm running some Vampire the Masquerade because things have gotten so complicated, and consequences of one's own actions do actually occur in life, even if Sid thinks they don't. And on Monday, I'm going to be over on the Onyx Path channel helping Kika out for some Seattle by Streetlight Chronicles of Darkness fun things have been happening over there. And then if you like to see more of me and you don't want to hang out with me here, Wednesday nights we're doing on Tales from the Grim, we're doing a Witcher campaign, which is tied to things that will be happening here later in the year. And yeah, go watch the VOD of that and be prepared to cry in the first episode. Just throwing that out there. But and hopefully Eris won't, not my character, someone else's character, won't die in the first 5 minutes of the next week. But hey, other than that, check my Twitter because I always post where I'm going to be, and I talk about fun, interesting things, like a lot of classics and gaming, kind of like this character. I wonder.
Moving on to Cleric.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Kat. I am at Clark of Court. That's where you can find me on the Twitters and Twitch streams and in games. I love this. I love masks. Again, this is back to back and two very different characters, two very different campaigns, and I love them both. I am so excited to having 2 nights of such beautiful collaborative world building is just, oh, it just fuels me. This is what I live for. Um, yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. Let's see, what have I got coming up? Sunday, I will be on an, oh no, Friday, tomorrow. Yes, days of the week. I know those. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, our penultimate episode of Judge Dredd back on the block as we go hunting for a psychic judge. And our judges have been declared rogue, so it's fine and it won't be a problem. Then Sunday, I'll be back on Encounter Roleplay. We're doing a meat grinder to raise money for Wires Australia. So please come watch it. We've got some really great players coming in. The Killer GM is running the meat grinder, so he's going to be out there looking for blood. Wednesdays, I'm in 2 places at one time, which is really kind of odd for me. um, at 3 p.m., I will be on Tales from the Grim in the Watchmen series as we TikTok. And then at 4 p.m., I'm with Jim on at Other Dogs Channel playing Masks. We are playing Doctropolis Rebels with a Cause.
Hmm.
And then I'll be back here on Thursdays again. So,
Okay, important question on that game.
Yep.
Who got the bullet car? The 1969 green Mustang.
nobody.
Oh, that's sad.
We have a subway train.
Okay, well, that's fine.
And Pope, where can we find you?
Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World Build on the Twitter, Pope World Build on the Twitch. I lurk in all your streams. If you want to see more of this ridiculous mug, you get a lot of chances right now. So on Sundays, over on Matev 7's channel, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, we get down with the neon and the dreadful beat of DJ Strahd. Mondays on Tales from the Grim, you know that channel that we keep talking about, at 9 p.m. Eastern, we head into the Weird West in Deadlands, the Road to Desperation. Things are getting dicey. As aforementioned, the world is at stake on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern on Watchmen, the Poor of the Black Freighter. Thursdays, before this one, over on Follow Black Cats at 2 p.m. Eastern, espionage is on the menu in the Spy Game. And then you can catch me back here on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, where we rise to some youthful heroics in masks. I want to thank everybody here for the wonderful story, Lily, this wonderful cast, and all of you there in chat, VOD, YouTube, wherever you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're just as much a part of the story, and I love you all. Take care. See you soon.
See you next week, everyone.
Bye. Yay.